All right, so let me introduce myself. I'm David Persin. I'm the #1 Pokemon English card collector in the world.
Box, 36 packs to the box. And finally, the card goes from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds. You know what? This box, every time I put it in my hand, it makes my heart go from about 0 to 120 beats a minute, which is not even a living soul heartbeat. Which would you choose?
And now for my most awesome recent acquisition. The award goes to this. Get ready, because I told you I didn't have it. The Crystal Guardians Earth Shower theme deck. Yes, there it is. So this was the final theme deck that I've been waiting for to complete my collection of every theme deck ever made. Welcome to Prison with Warden Dave. Hollow cards, secret rares, full arts, gold cards, etc. They stand out just because technologically things have advanced so much they can be so much more impressive. Pikachu, red or blue. And now for the most awesome card I recently received. The award this time goes to this sealed Mew non-hollow version, card number 111 of 110 from the EX Holland Phantom set. Until next time, guys, please continue to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. And please tell a friend. Take care, everyone.
Well, hello, you guys. How are you guys doing? Hello. I actually got an editor to do that. I will not ever. We have David, Uncle Dave here. And of course, I hired an editor to do a little video. How are you guys doing? How are you guys? Thank you so much. And with no further introduction, and I will let you guys know something. Uncle David actually went on my stream before, and I was using OBS and it crashed. And I was so embarrassed that it crashed. So you know what I did? From that day, right after, I upgraded my internet speed, went out, got a new computer, got a new camera, got a new streaming service, because I was not going to let that happen. And that's how important he is to me. And with no further ado, you guys, I am going to, hi, you guys. Hi, highly blessed. Sorry about that. With no further introduction, you guys, the #1 English collector is on the stream. You guys, I'm going to bring David in. Oops, sorry. How are you?
Wow. I mean, I'm great. And after that introduction and all the work and effort you put in, I couldn't be blown away. I'm flabbergasted. That was incredible. I mean, boy, talk about somebody geared. No wonder you have the collection you do. Geared for success from minute one. Congratulations. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for coming back on the stream for the second time. And I'm so honored, you guys. I'm so honored. More people are going to come back on. I know they will, but I always start with the same type of question. And to get you going, some of the first question, pick a starter, Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle.
You want me to do that?
Oh, yeah. We got 10 questions to go by.
Okay, great, because I have no idea what that means. Now, can I just say one thing? Is it okay that I can't see you? Do you care that I cannot see you at all?
Oh, yeah, this is perfect. This is exactly. You are the main guest, so that's exactly what it is. Fine. It's actually focused on you.
Look, it's your opinion in your show, but you're a lot better at that than me. I'm going to go with Bulbasaur for no particular reason. I just want to go with Bulbasaur.
Excellent. Bulbasaur is actually winning. I really like that. Your favorite first gen Pokemon?
I'm going to go with Pikachu. Is that a first gen Pokemon?
Absolutely.
I'm going to go with Pikachu then.
Favorite Pokemon after first gen?
I don't even know what after first gen means, so I have no idea. Morpeko, is that a name?
Oh, I love that Pokemon. Wow. Yeah, it is.
Okay, I'm going.
I love Morpeko.
Okay.
All right, excellent. Least favorite Pokemon. There you go.
Gosh, I really love them all. I'm just going to say, because it's fun to say a name like this, I'm going to say Abracadabra.
Okay, this one's going to be hard for you. This one's going to be hard. Favorite sealed booster box that you own? Which is all of them.
Yeah, I know. I think I'm going to say, just because I love the look of it. I mean, the logical choice is base box, first edition, but I'm going to say Skyridge because it just is such a beautiful box.
Absolutely. What is your favorite trophy card that you own?
Favorite trophy card that I own? I'm going to say 2004 number 1, because it is the very first trophy card ever kind of distributed or put out there.
Do you play any of the Pokemon games?
You know, I really don't. I have played some through the years, and at one point I fancied myself with an opportunity, like why wouldn't I just start picking it up and playing so I could enjoy myself more at the World's competitions and not just be a bystander and a spectator to everybody else's fun. But the reality is I really don't. You know, the time it takes to live life and collect, it takes up all that I've got as far as time. So.
Perfect. And the last question, what other trading cards that you play or collect?
Oh, no. I am Pokemon through and through. These guys would actually kill me if I did anything else. So no, it is Pokemon.
Likewise.
Pokemon. These guys right here. This is Psyduck and Pikachu, my 2 body guys, and so they would not let me do anything else. I am a Pokemon true and true. I tried the sports card. I've heard of Yu-Gi-Oh! Somebody once threw a Magic deck at me because they were angry. Nothing but Pokemon for me.
Likewise. And I'm gonna let you. There you go. The screen's all yours. Please tell the guests a little bit about yourself, and the floor is all yours.
Let's see, about myself. Hi, it's Uncle Dave. Good to see you all. Thank you for tuning in. I don't think you really understood what you're in for when you signed up, and I know it wasn't me. It was for my wonderful guest host person tonight, or my hosting person. I'm the guest. So let's see. I do have the number 1 English card collection. By number 1, it's not I mean by comprehensive. People say you don't have the number 1 anything. Everybody's got better than you. That's great. Congratulations. I'm happy for them because I want everybody to be happy with their own collection. Basically, my collection is number 1 in the sense that it's the most comprehensive. So I pretty much have every English Pokemon card that's ever been distributed, published, so that includes all of the set cards, all of the variant cards that come in all the collection boxes, all of the trophy cards that have been given away at Worlds over the years, the finalist and champion stamp cards along with that as well, and one of every booster box that's been out there, and one of every theme deck. I do not collect the individual packs because they're inside the booster boxes. And then over the last 18 months or so, as I've kind of come out of the dungeon or basement to sort of show my collection after all these years, because people have asked to see it, I have been fortunate enough to take the time to open up a website and do some other things to try to allow others to enjoy some of the extras that I have along the way and be able to own those as well through my website and other things like that. So it's just been grateful to be a part of this wonderful community for 20 plus years. And folks like you make it that much more wonderful for me. So thank you for all of the support that everyone's given to me. And thank you for allowing me to be on here with you tonight.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm going to hop back on you guys. There I am. I bought all these boost boxes up there just for today's stream. It's going to go to the storage right after. Let me hop back on you guys. Let me go here. David, you do have quite a fan base. So this is live Q&A for the #1 English collector, you guys. This is such a great opportunity to learn. Ask him, how does he acquire it? Before the live stream, I already did. I said I wanted hard gold and silver undaunted booster box. We already talked about that. I'm gonna hop straight to the question because I do not want to basically take your time. Hey Swami. Every time Swami is here, I always have to do the little there he is.
Nice.
We go. There you go. Hey Jackie. Hey Jody. Hefe. There it is. Hey Dima. Oh, we got a question from Swami. I'm not too sure with this. Hey David, what is the meaning of life?
Yeah, boy, isn't that a great question in a world where we all there's so much black and white these days. There's so much, going on in the world and people not really getting along like we'd love them to. So the meaning of life for me is about truly happiness, family, and health, and all of it going together. So the meaning of life is trying to find satisfaction in what we do, each of us every day. And not comparing to others and not looking to measure ourselves against other people, but looking inside ourselves and trying to bring kindness and compassion to the folks in our life and to our lives in general. To me, that's what it is. So.
That's such a great question. Swami wants to know, David, what are your future goals? Any plans to interact with the community in any way? Maybe at an event or something? Ooh.
Wow, Swami, I'm going to need to talk to you after this. We really got to get something going because that side of you is very stimulating, my friend. Swami's got the thing on his head and he's doing the whole Swami thing. That would be wonderful. I would love to interact with the community. Right now, I seem to be ostracized for the community. I think I'm a threat in some way. I don't know if it's because I still work out at age 60 or, people don't think I'm as smart as they are, but it's all right. Uncle Dave isn't trying to do it on brains alone. He's got brains and brawn working. So yeah, nice. It would be nice to be involved with the community. I do harbor notions of maybe the folks that are involved in me and befriend me, which I really enjoy those folks. They don't have to buy anything from me. I just like hearing from people and what's going on in their lives. Maybe doing something at Worlds the next time we have a Worlds, having kind of a private party and getting to involve myself with people then. As we get to this summer and I can finally get some free time from teaching my son schooling every day, I look forward to try to be more creative and getting more involved in the community that I am right now. Yeah, great question.
Excellent. Let me go here. And by the way, Jody, I hope you're doing okay. I saw your recent post on Facebook. I hope you are doing okay. I do not want to disclose anything, but I hope you are doing okay. Oh, hey, Poke Knowledge. Thank you. I like your channel as well. Thank you. Appreciate it. David, does he have any info on the illustrator Pikachu that was recently graded? Oh, yeah, an 8.5 by CGC. I see that. I noticed it. Let me try to pull that up.
Would the illustrator Pikachu that's being referred to be a Japanese card? It would be a Japanese card, correct?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. Poke Knowledge. My specialty and my knowledge base. I don't have any specialty. I'd love to tell you I do. My specialty is really not knowing a darn thing and just trying to fake it till I make it. So, but I don't do much with Japanese, so I really can't help you on the illustrator side of the Japanese part of the cards for this question. I apologize.
No, not at all. Not at all. It was on their website, on their Facebook. So it was an 8.5 right here. So I noticed that.
Yeah, Poke Knowledge. What would the question be? Like, what are you surprised with the grade? Is it, the first CGC grading? What is, I'm just curious what your question is really in related to specifically. I think we'd all like to know that. So.
Yeah, let me know. David, do you collect in any Japanese at all whatsoever? At all? Any type of Japanese cards?
No, I don't. The undertaking of what I'm doing, and plus just trying to keep the collection current with every set and every new box and every new collection box.
Yeah.
It is a still, and even going back for other cards that are, more rare, like the errors and stuff, it is such a full-time sort of thing that it really becomes too difficult for me to extend any further. So I don't. And then especially because, as I say, and everybody thinks I'm joking, and I love to be irreverent and have fun. But the one thing I'm not joking about, and as a financial advisor in life, I do help people plan their life with money.
Okay.
I'm going to be 60 in June. And we don't know when our time is going to come to an end, when your health is not going to be there. So I'm really focused on keeping the collection alive on one side and selling everything else that I have, so that I don't have this huge excess of inventory that my family is saddled with if and when the time comes that I'm not here anymore. So between all of that, I just don't have the time or wherewithal to do anything else. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you are a CFA, certified financial advisor. I was actually thinking of doing something like that because you and I both went to law school, and to become a CFA, you just have to actually take like 3 more courses or 3 or 4. I looked into it, and I actually did look into it, so I was like, maybe I'll head there, but we will see. We will see. So I'm gonna go here. Yeah, I bought this down. I did not go to the storage, but I just bought all of this down from here to there. I actually have more up there, but I said I don't have enough space. So I left it right there. Hey, there's my mod SRR. How are you doing? How did you get started? For all those who are new to Pokemon, that is such a great question because I get this so much. Tell me, what would you recommend somebody that's just new to Pokemon says, David, I want those booster boxes that you have. How do I even start? Where do I even buy?
Yeah, I think you have to really differentiate between a collecting mentality and an investment mentality. Sometimes you get lucky and they end up kind of coming together, and that's sort of the best of both worlds. But I think for both you and I, we both were collectors. That's kind of what drove us into this. And so that's what I would always suggest to anybody is start with the latest set that's out there. Start, buying those packs, buying those boxes, and opening up and taking a look at those cards and see if you like them, see what they look like, see if you like all the full arts, what sort of resonates with you from an enjoyment and a love of the hobby type of endeavor. And so not only do you start to acquire cards, but it also gives you an education. And then as you go further, because things are still reasonably priced when it's new, everything is too high right now, but still reasonably priced. If you start there, then you can begin to work your way backwards and actually go set by set or box by box, or just jump to different eras depending on your available capital and what else you find out that you're interested in. I think the other thing too is, eBay, Facebook, websites are tremendous resources for beginning to at least look at cards. Even, for someone that, if you don't buy anything off my website, but you can go there and you can see all of the WotC era, the first era, and the EX cards. They're all out there in different sets, presentations, and get a flavor for what it is you like. And then you can start looking to buy anywhere, and just enjoy getting the knowledge of where all this stuff came from.
Are there any websites that you recommend that you personally use besides eBay? Any other website?
I wish I used more of the websites. Again, it just comes down to I so much of the time don't have the time. I wish I did. So I have to keep myself really focused on what I'm doing. So I really do use eBay most of the time for just information acquisition or pricing ideas, that kind of stuff. Obviously, people use PokeBeach. That's a great informational website. Bulbapedia is a fantastic website for historical set lists, that kind of stuff. So at different times I use different things, but I try to rely on myself more, and than I do in trying to. I know there's pricing websites and there's all that kind of stuff, which for some people is really great. For me, I rely on my own confidence to do that pricing myself rather than just trust somebody else's information. And despite the fact that it's a great way that they're putting it together, it's just not for me personally.
I absolutely agree. And that's pretty tough too, because there's certain, like for example, buying a booster box from you, right? The condition matters. So where do we price? As in, like, okay, and it's hard because sometimes booster boxes, there's a big scratch, and that's what some of my booster boxes are. And I'll be like, well, that's damaged. And to me, it's like, well, it's damaged, but and how much of the prices are reduced is reduced. So that is really hard. Thank you, Jody. Please do support Karma Cat Rescue up there. I'm a huge cat person, and please, not the one in Canada, but the one in Mission Vale. Absolutely. Thank you so much. David, are you kids? Oh, you're big. Oh, that's such a good question, David. Are your kids big into the Pokemon? Do they have their own personal collection? David did share with us last time that his 8 children. Ooh.
Yeah. So first of all, go cats. Definitely go cats. I love cats. I've had cats my whole life. Everybody knows me. They know I lost my cat about a year ago, Joey, and I haven't been the same since. And it's just not the same because everybody says, let's go buy a little kitty. And I'm like, but there's no more Joey. So I can't buy another Joey. So, and if you don't like cats at all, because I need you to find me on the internet somewhere, go dogs. I love dogs. Okay, I don't know anything about dogs, but I'm sure they're wonderful. And as long as they don't attack me and hit me and bite me like a pit bull, I love dogs. So that was kind of my, okay. Let's see, my kids. Yeah, so I have an interesting situation with my kids. My kids don't really like me. They don't like me. They don't respect me. They just, they like Bank of Dad because it's still open for some of them. So occasionally they like to make a withdrawal or deposit. And they often look at their mother and I and they say, you know what? Well, they've been 2 successful people who've done everything kind of right and they work their butts off, and let's try to do everything opposite of them and see if it works out. So yeah, I don't know. My kids don't really have any interests that I have. And so I get to be the big kid. I get to not grow up. Pokemon allows me to do that. I wish my kids had more of an interest, but they don't. And so let's just leave it at that. And Jody, Matoma, and your Karma stuff and whatever you're doing, let's get out of the personal stuff because that's way too much information, right? I mean, I'm not supposed to cry on these interviews, all right? I'm just
That's really. What hobbies are they into? Are they into sports at all? Any type of hobbies?
Yeah, so sports has always been the family's type of religion. We're all into basketball, and I've been a basketball coach for 25 or 30 years. My kids have been very high level basketball players, and my 21-year-old just kind of finished playing in college, and my 9-year-old, we actually, and you'll remember this one day if it ever happens, but you know, we are struggling with the autism and that part of his life. But other than that, he's probably the most talented basketball player I've ever coached in 25 years. So there's a good chance that he'll be able to play in high D1 college or even maybe NBA someday, and we're working towards that. So that's kind of what we do as a family with him. So yeah.
Good luck on that. I hope he gets into a Division I college.
Yes.
So I'm learning a little bit about sports. I am, because I want to diversify, right? I want to buy property. I'm looking to Bitcoin and other crypto as well. And I invest in some in NTFs. So I'm looking into that, and I'm learning myself some sports cards to actually venture in there. Not that I know really anything about that, but I'm pretty excited to go on that journey. So let me go here. All right, let me go here. David, since we're on here, do you invest in anything else at all? At all? Crypto, NTFs, anything at all like that? Besides Pokemon cards?
Yeah. So, of course I'm going to have my stock and bond portfolios because of what I do it for a living. But the answer is, I know Pokemon the best. So it makes sense for me to maintain one of the greatest keys to success in financial endeavors or anything in the world is maintaining a discipline and a focus. So for me, that discipline and focus revolves around the Pokemon world. I understand the markets. I understand supply and demand. I understand, where to buy and when to buy and how to buy and those kinds of things. And so I feel like I have more of a chance of being successful in Pokemon investment markets than I would in anything else. And there's, when you talk about Bitcoin, when you talk about, NFTs and that kind of stuff, there's still so much in their infancy going on. They could be absolutely wonderful, but they also could be something that additional competition, additional transparency, anything can drive them in a different direction, despite how good it looks right now. So I'm more on the conservative side when it comes to investing. I'm less willing to take risk and more into trying to find an investment that's going to be more certain to make money, even if it doesn't make me as much money as another investment.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I see. I see. A Pikachu like he's ready to catch a fade off.
Right. Nice.
There you go. Dima, there you go. What is one of the Pokemon card in your collection that was hardest to track down? Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah, there were a couple of trophy cards that took years. Obviously, one was a 2004 #1 trophy card. And that probably took me a decade or so before it came available. I think I got it in 2013 or 14. And that there was a 2007 #2 or 3 that came out of another country that took a long time as well. So those two definitely have a great extra kind of meaning for me. And then I'd have to say, obviously, the one that kind of came out of nowhere. So it wasn't necessarily the hardest to track down because it kind of found me, but that would be my pre-release Raichu, which just, that came about because of a circumstance where the person who was offered the ability to purchase it in the first place tried to apparently grade it. Now maybe they could have with CGC, but they couldn't with PSA. And that was all that really was the option back then, or maybe Beckett. And so they opted to say, I don't want it anymore. And people started contacting me about buying it. So not necessarily the hardest to track down, but one that today would be very, very hard to track down looking back. So.
Oh, yeah, that's very true. How do you get into contact with the people that own all these trophy cards? How do you, throughout the years?
Well, it starts obviously at being at most of the Worlds. I've been at every Worlds competition since 2006. So that's where it kind of starts and emanates from. At that point, you're there and you're trying to compile lists of winners and second place, third place, fourth place finishers. And then going from there, depending on what happens after that, what I've not been able to acquire at Worlds. And as we look out into the future, it's leveraging contacts that I buy from across the world, whether or not it's different countries or different continents for that matter. But there's just so many people in this hobby that are just so good and so willing to assist. And even the last trophy card I just got from Tord in Norway came from a gentleman, came through some help from a kid named Simon, Simen. Story, I think is his last name. I might be completely wrong. My age, things get right in and out of the brain. But he's been a wonderful help. Obviously, one of my best partners in crime for this last 20 years has been Dan Norton, DJ Gigabyte, and it's been invaluable to me in helping me track down trophy cards. So I've just been very fortunate. I mean, I would have people at Worlds that just began to know me, and they would go running through Worlds chasing people. Adult, Japanese folks, translator folks who would try to help me get the cards. So I've just been very fortunate to kind of create contacts in trying to be kind and humble and also keeping my word and not trying to buy them to sell them the next day or something. I was trying to continue to build this comprehensive living collection that would still be growing day to day.
That's very true. And I think as more Wizard of the Coast boxes and just vintage now, I don't know if these are vintage or not, but I think they're semi-vintage, are getting more open every day. It's purely connection, right? Who do you know to sell you the box? Like you, I looked on eBay before the stream. I could not find a nice condition undaunted box at all. So I was like, you know what? I have David here. I'm definitely going to ask him. So I'm pretty excited for that. It's all who you know. And people contact me all the time like, hey, can you sell me this box? And I said, well, I have a difficult time letting things go.
Right.
Do you? I really do. I'm very sentimental. All these boxes been with me throughout the years. So I hardly sell. I believe that I am a true collector. I hardly ever sell anything. And if I do sell, I want to make sure it's to the right person, it's going to be to a collection, not to someone that's going to buy that box and then flipped it to other online stream. And that's what I really looked at, and that's why I do my little detective work and says, okay, is this the right person to sell? So absolutely on that. Okay.
I was going to say one more thing, because I think you were going to ask me, how do I have a tough time selling,
Yeah.
and that's part of it too. And I really do, because you see what's happening is, as you look at eBay, you look at Facebook and stuff, you've got two things going on. Number one is you see less and less of these boxes out there because people are too afraid to sell them, because they're afraid you're going to sell them at 5,000, they're going to be 10,000 a week from now, and they don't know when to sell them. So that's part
Exactly.
of it, right? And the other part is, who do you buy them from that you can still trust, that they're not tampered with and they're not sealed and resealed? And for all of us, you can take that gamble at $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000, but when you get to $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, it's a big risk to buy from someone you're not sure of exactly where it came from. So for me, the only reason I sell is I don't sell my collection boxes just like you don't. They're my one of everything. But I have too many of these things that if I don't start getting rid of them, then I'm going to have to get rid of them at 65 or 70. And again, it just goes back to I don't want to be doing this selling every day. Right now, I'm selling a bunch of stuff every day. But at some point, my wife's going to say, will you ever come out of the office so we could go and get a drink by the pool? You just can't do it forever when you get to be older and you've got other things you want to do in life. So
That's actually true. Because at the point I did think about eventually selling, because all the boxes I have here are duplicates. I have more in the storage. And I think about it, and I talk to a lot of people, guests just like you, who sold their Wizard of the Coast box. And they would tell me privately, they said, I absolutely regretted selling that box to that person. I said, why? Because I saw them tripling the price on their stream like the next day or the next week, and they told me they were a collector, and that's why I trusted them. I gave them a good deal, and I saw that box and I felt bad because that's hurting the community, and that's not what I want to do. And that's one of my biggest my biggest fear, because I did have many people, I would say about 25 people plus, that messaged me throughout my stream and says, hey, can I buy, I don't know, I'm just gonna throw out something, just one of the boxes in the back, and they would say be underneath on the price with eBay. And I'll just do my little research. And I will find out they would just do it. They would just buy the box on eBay, flipped it 2 or 3 times. And I said, I can't do that because that's hurting the community. That's not what I want. Because and I'm very careful of who I sell it to. And I thought it was something I wanted to share with you. Let me go back here. Jody wanted to know. David, do you collect sealed products and wild cards? How many master sets do you have, or do you actually have them all?
Yeah, so I do, Jody. I do have them all. So I do. All of my sets are master sets. I have, if you were looking at a Bulbapedia list or something, and you looked at not only the cards from the set, not only the reverse holo cards, not only the pre-release cards, the staff pre-release cards, but then all of the variants that come from the collection boxes, the theme decks. Anything else, that you could find, I do have all of those cards. I may not have 3 or 4 or 5 cards in total of some kind. And the one thing I haven't focused on heavily yet is errors. So errors are the one thing I still may not have every single one of them, but everything else I would. And then I do collect sealed products. So obviously at least one of every booster box going back, including the base first Shadowless and the Fossil Red box. And then I have all of the theme decks, and I do not grade my cards. So that is the one thing that is a whole different story and debate for people. But I've never been interested in grading my cards. Even to this day, people are like, you can take those Nintendo poker cards and you can grade them. And you can take a card that you're selling for $40 right now and sell it for $700. Well, at some point you'll see I'm just not interested in it. I get it. It's just not for me. I'm not interested in getting into that now at this point in my life. So I rather sell them to people and let them go and grade them themselves if they want to. The thing about grading, and you watch one of my upcoming videos, I'm going to talk a little bit more about it, but I believe, and I'll come into this in a conclusion at some point, but I believe that high condition, non-graded cards these days are more rare to find than your graded cards these days. So if you're looking for 9s and 10s, you'll find 9s and 10s all day long. But try to find a real 9 or 10 that's not been graded, It is hard to do. And I have a funny feeling with my website and stuff, people buy that stuff as much as they pay for 9s or 10s, they're paying for my 9s and 10s that aren't graded 9s and 10s right now, because they know I grade tough in my way I do it. And so it's going to be interesting to see how that evolves. What some people have said to me, and this is the only counter argument to me, is, well, David, if that's the case, we'll just take our 9s and 10s, we'll buy them on eBay that are already graded, we'll just crack the cases. But the next big business you guys should be looking into is, whichever of those are out there, go and get the tool to crack the cases and run a business to crack the cases, because I won't crack a case. I'm not going to take a chance at hurting my cards that if I had a 9s or 10s. I've talked to people, they won't crack their cases. They're too scared of it. So again, I think that raw cards are going to be just fine in the long run. Right now, they price way more than CGC graded cards. Not that CGC won't end up being there at some point. So yeah, that's what I collect, is sealed raw cards, all master sets, and every English card that comes out that I can get my hands on, hopefully. So
That's funny, because I actually did not grade my cards. I actually sent some cards, not some, I sent a lot cards to grading. And I worked in collaboration with my local card shop, where he said, look, the bill is going to be heavy. I said, I know. He said, well, let's say if some of the cards come back graded pretty high, you can put, I can sell some of your cards here, because I do have traffic, and you just give me 25% whatever the sell price is. I said, hey, that's not bad. But I just started grading, I would say about a year ago, not even a year. I take that back, you guys. 7 months, about 7 months ago, before the prices increased. And I thought that was, I thought it was stupid of me, because I'm like, I should have just used that money to buy more seal products. But I felt a little bit better when the price increased, and I said, okay, that's good. But did you? Because this is how I did it. I never grade the cards. I had the cards in pretty good condition still, I believe so. And I used the capital instead of just grading it. I just bought more and more collections. Did you do the same thing as well?
yes, correct. Yes, I think that people say to me every day, why should I spend the money to grade? And now the cards come back as higher value. Why should the grading companies be able to say, well, it's $500, you're going to pay more. If it's $1,000, you're going to pay more. If it's $2,000, you're going to pay more. Then they can arbitrarily raise the prices. Yes, I find that all as direct capital that can be used in other ways. So I absolutely think that the money that people spend to grade, and the fact that they get caught up in it, I understand it. There's some people that can't live without a 9 or 10 or knowing it, and it comes back to how you collect and how you personally, find the most satisfaction. But money is very precious, and we all work so hard for it. And maximizing the value of your money and the utility of being able to have that money to spend is really important. So yes, that's a big consideration for me.
Exactly.
One last thing.
Mm-hmm.
If grading was a perfect science, I might have a different opinion. But as all of us know, go to eBay and look at pictures of a PSA 9 of the same card. And if someone's actually has the wherewithal to post a front and back, and you're going to see the most variation you'll ever see. One's a 9, another is an 8, another is a 10. They all look exactly the same, and it makes no sense. So the subjectivity of grading, how much white's on the back, the scratches on the front. I know somebody that has a PSA 10 graded Charizard box topper that has a scratch right across the top. And they're furious, because they wonder, did the person that sell it to them know that when they did? All of these things go into the dissatisfaction around grading and the subjectivity. I don't want, no offense to the grading companies, but I don't want some 20-some-year-old person who the one day they wake up is different than the next day they wake up, and they're grading and make a decision that's going to impact the satisfaction when the cards come back to me. I have a very interesting mind. It does everything the same way all the time. So I can grade cards, look at them a month later, grade them again, look at them 6 months later. It's always the same. It's just because I have certain ways I look at things, but it's kind of weird that other people will necessarily do that and be that consistent. And so that gets frustrating to me as well.
That's very true. It's very subjective. Grading is very subjective, because I've seen cards that came back completely off center and it got a 10, and one that was centered got a a 9. I very, very, very subjective, absolutely. And I had talked to a lot of people before I sent my cards in, and they were telling me tips and tricks here and there. And I would say, hey, you know what? Do you think it's a good idea if I sent about 500 cards in as bulk? And then one of my friends who's grades all of his cards, who was adamantly says that is the stupidest idea you've ever. Don't do that. I said, why? Because the grader is gonna get tired and give you a bunch of 9s. That's what he told me. He said, this is what you're gonna do. 500 cards, right? You're going to break it down to 200, 300, 200. I'm like, really? For grading? Goes, yes, that's how I've been getting all these 10s. I'm like, really? And people are telling me tips and tricks. And they're like, okay, if you want that card to get a 10, that's the most expensive card. Let me see if I got a card here. Let me get here. It fell down. Okay. I found this card. I should have got it graded, but it's a first edition Blaine Charizard. It's in great condition. And my friend was telling me, express that card. Express this, because by the time they get that graded, they'll look at it and just need to give you a 10 real quick. And I'm like, what is all there's like tips and tricks, tons of it out there. And everybody has their different opinion. I'm like, wow, I thought it would be more objective, but you're right. I do think it's subjective as well. You're right. Absolutely. Absolutely. I thought that here. Fighter's Destiny, Uncle David, is there anything specifically about the Pokemon Center releases that you do and don't like, i.e. condition and rarity?
Yeah, nice to see you, Fighter's Destiny. Thank you. The Pokemon Center releases, if you're talking about the website, it just frustrates the heck out of me, and I just have to probably leave it at that. I don't know what they're doing. I don't understand it. I try to get the cards like all of you guys and gals, and it's, the bots are in there and they're frustrated about the bots that are causing that everybody, lock us all out after we try 10 times to come in, and it says, sorry, we think you're a bot. You're not a real human being. And I'm sitting there crying in my tissues because I can't get a special delivery Pikachu, or I just can't get some first partner packs at $9. So, I don't know what, I think they frustrate more people with those websites than anything else. Anything that's in demand sells out in 4.5 minutes. And if you're not looking every minute of the day, you're going to miss out. So condition or rarity, condition, I mean, my thinking is, if I'm thinking of the right thing that you're talking about, everything is new. So that really isn't relevant to me, but the rarity of it, or how quickly it goes, that's the frustrating part. I think they could do it so much better. I think they could truly limit to one. I think if they wanted to be more than if you've got that kind of selling capability, why doesn't Pokemon use it more? Why don't they put more inventory out there? Or why don't they limit it more and let other people share in it? And it goes for everything. It doesn't matter what you want to buy. If it's rare, or the skateboards, whatever, they're gone in 5 seconds. So I'm just frustrated with that site, because you know what? Stop making everything so darn limited. People can't wait for that special delivery Charizard. So I saw a question come up here. Uncle Dave probably got it before everybody else? No, I don't get anything. I get things way after everybody else, and I'm more frustrated than anybody else because I just want to get one for me. I don't need to resell it. I want my one card, and I cannot get it. So I'm frustrated with PokemonCenter.com. I used to have more success, and now there's just this surging demand for everything is completely out of control.
I agree, and I hate to say this, but I've been a little bit turned off with what's going on. I have been. I mean, I've been a little bit turned off. It's kind of difficult, but takes the joy out when everybody puts a monetary value in everything that you have. So it kind of just takes joy. But yeah, I've been very frustrated as well. But you know what? I have patience. I've been doing this. Both of us have been doing this for quite a while. If we want the card, it'll eventually come. At least we think so. Great advice, David. I'm 62, and that's how I'm approaching Pokemon, getting a flavor of what's out there first. Thank you. How did you get started as a collector and an investor? Ooh.
Yeah, always one of my favorite questions. My real starting as a collector happened in 2004. So And those of you that have seen any of my early videos, you know, it just was a late night purchase. I'm a little bit of a shopaholic. Maybe I shop and I'm depressed. And really, who doesn't and who shouldn't? And let's not get into any more than that. Because my therapist says this really shouldn't be a public issue. This should be something I handle privately. Okay, maybe I don't have a therapist, but maybe I should. So anyways, late night, I bought a couple of sets, and I woke up the next morning, and it was, you know, two sets from then. They were master sets back then, and I had no idea what I'd done. And so I'd spent too much money, like $700, and I thought, what have I done? I've gone crazy. I don't even know this hobby since I hadn't participated in the last 5 years or so since it came out. And then from there, my personality took over. And I think there's something about us all that are, as collectors, we are kind of these holistic people. Whatever it is we're trying to get or fill in, there's kind of some people call it a completionist mentality. And it may only be for your favorite card or character. It may just be for your favorite set, but there's something that we want to complete. And for me, that all or nothing type A personality set, I want to figure out what this whole Pokemon hobby is about. And I started looking back then for folks that were selling complete sets of all the other things. I had to figure out what was out there, what other sets that existed. And I reached out to them, and they were people that were selling multiple sets at the time. Demand was very slow. The hobby had lost its flavor in 2004 stuff. And I was able to fortunately buy some collections from people where I would buy all of their 18 or 19 sets they had at the time. And I bought a couple of those, and that kind of propelled me going forward. I never was in it for investment. There was no reason to be in it for investment. It never looked like it was going to be a good investment when you go back to those years. It just happened that as over the course of time, I happened to acquire these collections and held them, didn't do anything with them, put them away. And as time turned out, it ended up being a good investment now that Pokemon has become the #1 media franchise in the world. And finally, I've had some luck, you know, for whatever reason. I've had a little bit of luck over the years where I have bought some extra cases of things. This last year and a half, for some reason, I sometimes get an indication of something. And so I started buying the older booster boxes about 18 months ago. So I was able to amass, quite a few of those as well before they really surged. And so that helps the investment side a bit more. I do think when you're talking about, collector and investor, right now, I would encourage you to work with people to try, if you'd like to be an investor as well, try to buy the new stuff. There isn't much new stuff that doesn't go up if you can buy it at a reasonable price. Try to make connections with your local hobby shops, your local distributors, some of the people you might know in the hobby. See if you can dovetail some extra product onto their orders for yourself. But keep everything open and just keep asking questions of people and see how they can help you. There's so many kind people who might buy extra for themselves that are just looking to get a bulk discount when they buy, but they need to offload some stuff as well. See if you can go in with those folks and find cheaper ways to buy as well.
That's very true. Very, very true. And I always tell the people that watch this, and I said, I'm an accidental investor. I wouldn't even call myself one, but I have all these boxes. But then I knew back then that the sealed product seems to always go a little bit higher, and the single cards would go down. That's how I knew to keep things sealed. It's always been back then. It's always been like that. I've noticed that the cards would go down, but the sealed products would tend to go a little bit higher. And that's when I knew, that's it. I'm keeping a lot of things sealed.
And let me say this one last thing to this person.
Yeah.
As well. Tying on with what you're saying, if you're going to buy for investment, booster boxes and booster cases are your best way to go, number one. If they have those things available in the set. If they don't, like Hidden Fates, Shining Fates, then you'd look for ETBs, the Elite Trainer boxes. That's your best way to go for those by far. And your least thing that you want to do, your least successful investment is going to be the collection boxes. So there's nothing wrong with them, but in the longer scheme of things, as far as what's going to escalate in price, sealed booster boxes and cases, then Elite Trainer boxes. Where there's no booster boxes, don't buy them. Don't look for them if there's booster boxes. And then collection boxes would be number 3.
Thank you so much. See you guys. You have the #1 English collector, just reiterating what I've always said. Sealed products is the safest to me. And I know a lot of people, not a lot, but some people do disagree on that spectrum, but that's okay. We all have our opinions. But to me, I've always noticed that. And I noticed it way back then where I'm like, the singles kept on dropping, but the sealed products tend to just gradually increase. Now it just went all the way up, but I've always noticed that. And that's how I kept a lot of things sealed. And I'm such a huge seal collector. So I'm really glad that we're definitely on that. Pretty much. Thank you so much. Do you have any modern seal products at all right now?
I do. I mean, again, I have no barometer for it, no real rule. So sometimes there's a Charizard in a set or something, I'll try to buy more cases of that. When I started getting out on the internet, a year ago, I started buying more cases in hopes of breaking, but I couldn't compete with all these huge box breakers. It's too much for me. I decided there's no reason to compete. They're all much, much bigger and more efficient than I am in that. So sometimes I'll buy 10 cases, sometimes 5, sometimes 2, and sometimes 20. It just depends. But I liken the case buying or the box buying to something that we talk about in my environment, which is the investment markets, stock markets. There's something called upside and downside capture. So,
Yes.
yeah, it's not the case when you buy a mutual fund or you buy an ETF that's actively managed by a manager. What you want to buy is something that you hope is going to capture as much of the upside of the market that you're trying to go for and limit more your downside. Okay. So
yes.
Yeah. And so when these sealed boxes, the way that I look at them is even if I spend $100 a box or whatever, they might go back down to 90 or 80, but they're more likely to go to 200. And that's what you're looking at. You're looking at ratios of possible upside to downside. And as long as you don't get caught buying them way too much higher in price from when they come out, if you can find them, that's how you're going to be more successful. You're not always going to hit them all as winners, but the ability to hit them at some point is probably very likely, especially with the current surge of demand and the lack of supply overall.
Thank you so much, David. See, a certified financial advisor is just telling you what I've been saying this whole time, just going on tangent. So that's what I've been telling them. I said, look, I noticed there's this problem here. What's going on with people that are investing, right? So I noticed that, for example, I was using Vivid Voltage for an example. I had someone that reached out to me and they bought 6 boxes of booster box of Vivid Voltage and they were buying it at $280 a box. And I said, distributor's price is only $90, right? Your middleman that sold that to you made a huge profit off you. And they're like, really? He's like, yeah. So you need to minimize that part of the section as much as possible. That's why I said buy at MSRP, or if that's it. So if that booster box dropped in price, at least you said, you know what, I bought it at MSRP, I break even or try to sell it or lower price. And that's where the problem with a lot of investors, investment advice out there, the YouTube channel, that's why I started it, that the person that's doing all these box breaking, that one is making the most money instead of the person that's receiving and that's opening the packs. So I thought about it. I'm like, that's such a crazy gimmick that's going on right now. But thank you so much. Exactly what I've been saying. Thank you so much. Let me go here. We'll go back to the question. I've been neglecting the question. I'm sorry about that. Let me go here. I think we got here. I went totally. There you go. Swami. David, was there a period of time when money side of Pokemon wasn't a thing? Was it weird as Pokemon become more and more valuable? 2004.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that I don't think the money part of Pokemon really started to sort of rear its head ugly in one way or the other until the last couple of years. I mean, if you think about it, I was still going to Worlds, again, 2006 all the way to 2000, the last one, whatever it was, 19. And I could buy Worlds cards and there wasn't a bunch of people looking for them. And, and I might have paid, I don't know, I think the most I ever paid for a Worlds card at Worlds was about 14,000. But, I mean, a trophy card is what I'm saying. You could buy those cards for 7,000, 8,000, 10,000, 5,000, whatever. You just didn't have as much demand. So you could buy the Worlds cards, the people that went to Worlds, the finalist packs or the participant packs, the 9-card sets. All of the vintage stuff was still available. It was all available up to 18 months ago. 18 months ago to 2 years ago was when this whole thing just went ballistic. Up to that, there was no money about it. And then the surge, and a lot of people blame it on the pandemic and more people being at home and more time to they still had their income and they still had a way and a place they wanted to spend. It could be that, it could be, I'm sure that's a part of it for sure, as well as a convergence of the Pokemon hobby continuing to surge in popularity. Maybe there was less supply coming for that, and that changed the whole idea of the most recent stuff going up more quickly as well. There's, just like what you were just saying, there's no middleman anymore. Now they're all moved themselves out to retail. All the wholesalers and distributors have moved themselves to retail prices. So it's very frustrating that there's no policy policing them, but they're saying, hey, we have the product, we're going to price what we want, buy it or don't buy it. Nobody's policing us from Pokemon. They're going to do what they want. So all of the folks that I bought from, the blowout cards and collector's cash and Dave and Adams, they've all doubled their prices. There's no more, you can't buy a case of $90 or $100 a thing anymore, unless you have a distributor relationship directly. So that's when it really picked up, about 2 years ago, 18 months ago. And has it been weird? It's been crazy. I think we're all, what's the proliferation right now of all of these YouTube channels coming out where these folks are telling you what's going to happen or trying to tell you what's going to happen. The reality is they don't know. They don't know anything, but we're all searching for views and doing the best we can to analyze. And the way they do that is because there's so much uncertainty around supply, demand, what sets coming out and what big cards are going to be in there and what mimics and when are we going to start playing the game again? So that's going to add a different variable to the folks that need certain cards from the sets to build their decks. All of these are going to be a piece of it, but it's just this last couple of years when things have changed dramatically. Before then, it was still kind of flowing along a lot sort of under the radar.
Yeah, and I blatantly said this on my stream, and you know what? I was joking. I said, the hype channels, my channel's not pretty hype at all. It's actually kind of on the you're probably not going to make money channel. But I've always said to with new collectors coming in, I said, if you're agreeing to paying $20 a booster pack or $17, $15, $10, whatever it is, you are setting yourself up for failure, right? You're not just biting yourself in the foot. You're taking a shotgun and just shooting yourself in the foot because you are saying, look, these people are getting at distributors pricing, right? But that's okay. We agree to pay these high prices, right? And buyer's fatigue it's fast. And I think it's happening a little bit right now. And I said, you know what? Be a little bit patient. You're just going to hurt yourself if you are agreeing to these high prices for luxury goods in Pokemon cards. What do you think about that, David? What do you think about that? Or you think I think you guys are hurting yourself. Just be a little bit patient because you're saying, all right, we agreed to it. We'll take more abuse. So.
Yeah, that's maybe one of the most difficult questions to answer, and I think you have to it really comes down to your own level of happiness with the acquisitions that you make. If you're a person that's going to make a purchase and then look back at it and regret it later, I totally agree with you. I think that you could very much regret the fact that you might have paid too much for something. But of course, we have people that do buy luxury goods, right? I have a kind of a son-in-law who sells at Tiffany's, and that people walk in and they spend $50,000, $100,000, $250,000 on a ring, and they don't think anything about it. So if you've got the disposable income and you love to, there's a lot of people that you open up a pack and it's kind of like a gamble. There's people that just want to collect packs and put them away in their own collection, hoping they'll be worth something 10, 15 years from now because the boxes are not as affordable anymore. That part is very, I understand that. And then there's the part that is completely unknown. So when someone gets on my website and they buy an expedition pack from me for $800, okay, which these days is apparently a reasonable price because I sell them all the time. How much expedition is out there? I don't know. I don't know if there's 1,000 boxes of expedition left in the country, 5,000 or 400. And that's what I don't think anybody really knows, right? There was speculation on the Logan Paul box, the base first edition. So the problem is that's why people are hunkering down and sort of hoarding their boxes, because if there's only 400 left, they don't want to sell them when they think it's going to be worth double and triple 3 years, 10 years down the road. But then you have to wonder who's going to have the money to afford it at that time. And is it only going to be the box breakers that are going to still be buying it because they can get the money out of the pack breaks? I don't know. So there's this idea of how much supply was really done in the leaner years and how much that's going to impact people wanting to go back is really the biggest unknown. And I'll say one last thing. Here was my goal. My goal a year ago was to open up a pack emporium. So take every one of my boxes and offer it as individual packs. I'm not sure who does that. The only person I know that may have that these days, and I don't know if they have every box or pack that I see, is TCA Gaming, Rusty. He consistently seems to have, though, I know he's got all those boxes and he seems to open them and open packs, do whatever, have people be able to buy packs. But the problem was nobody trusted what they were buying anymore. So it was whereas a box should cost $300 and a pack should then be $10 a pack or $360 more than the other way, the packs are way less than the sealed boxes because everybody wants the sealed box. So now nobody wants to break the sealed boxes because they don't trust that the packs are untampered with, unsearched, or unweighed. And that has thrown a wrench into my own plans. I think more people trust me because of my reputation through the years, so I might still do it. But boy, did I put the brakes on that whole idea, because here I can sell a box for $25,000, but the packs only come out to $15,000. It makes absolutely zero sense. And it becomes down to this trust factor and worry over everybody tampering as the prices go more and more expensive.
Yeah, absolutely. I do agree. I do agree with that. Absolutely. And I'm sure we're both on Facebook, and there's lots of people that are saying, look, I got this box, and they will just do a little slit and they're like, that's a tampered booster box. So I do see that a lot as well. Sleepy Bunny. Not many Pokemon collectors or master set collectors or completionists. What made you go into this direction?
Yeah, leave it to Sleepy Bunny, okay? What I would say for you, Sleepy Bunny, is more sleep and less questions might be better for you, because I don't want the tough, the questions are too tough. I just was expecting kind of a fluff interview at this point. A mental illness is the answer to that question. Just mental illness. It's who you are as a human being when you figure it out. I don't have any other answer. It's like, oh, I don't have that card. Oh my goodness, how can I not have that card? Why wouldn't I have that card? I need to have that card. My binder's not complete. That's the best I can do. It's just a part of the personality that, I remember my 6th grade teacher. I don't remember much about back then, but there were a few cute girls. Sorry, honey. Anyways, so he said on my report card, David's a perfectionist. And so there were those kind of signs back then of that idea of excellence versus mediocrity in the way that I measured myself. It's been a tough role over the course of time, as most of you know by my story, and still very critical of myself in a myriad of different ways. So I guess that was one way that came out okay in the cards, but other ways, not the best thing.
I'm hot back out. I just want to let you guys know. I actually have a couple of master sets that I did not send to PSA. I found this binder after I sent it to PSA, and I got lazy, but I got a couple of a little bit more of a gold star. I'm gonna go some of my sets. There you go. Got some of the master sets here. I think I have I have a lot of master sets. All these binders are sitting there. A couple of master sets, but I totally know what you mean. I like how you answered mental. The things that I really cannot dispose of it. Jody, what is /are 1 or 2 Pokemon products that you really wanting to get your hands on lately?
Yeah, I love the new stuff. I can't stand that I can't get the new stuff at just a reasonable price. It just bothers me. It really upsets me, that I want to continue to collect and continue to maintain the collection. So, I do the things that nobody does. Jumbo cards. I have every single jumbo card that's ever been put out in the English language. People hate the jumbo cards. You can go watch my video on it. So now the new first partner Galar packs or all these region packs are coming for the 25th anniversary. Yeah, you can go find them somewhere, but I just wish I could go pay $9 like anything else and just buy the packs. That special delivery Charizard that everybody's kind of waited for the site. I'm looking forward to getting that one. I'm looking for the inverted, so people know I haven't been collecting the inverted gold, the inverted stamp movie promos from the Black Stars. So I'm still been looking for those. Again, I'm going to try to acquire them at a reasonable price, do a trade or something in time. But most everything else I have. And so it'll come down probably to error cards will be the next step I take. there's a few more expensive error cards in the $3,000 to $5,000 range that I would like to maybe pick up to just round out the big ones I don't have, and then keep a hold of the new ones. I just bought my Shining Fates. I just bought my Shining Fates master set. So a lot of you know I don't build my sets. I try to buy them from folks that build them right out of packs, because it doesn't. I think building master sets is fantastic if you do it with a friend. If you try to do it by yourself, I wouldn't suggest it. But if you buy a case, they buy a case, your other friend buys a case, and now you can mix and match the cards you don't have. Now you're into that case for $700 or $800, and a master set in these days is going to cost you a lot more than that. If it's one like Shining Fates, if you don't have booster boxes. So, you know, they were for sale at about $2,800, then they're $2,400. They're on eBay, so you got to pay tax. So I started making some calls, making some, you know, whatever, and I ended up buying it off eBay. Somebody went off eBay with me, and I paid like $1,600. It's not inexpensive, but it's a better price than you can to just pay the price at $2,000, $2,400, or $2,800. And I got a beautiful pack fresh master set with all of the cards, all of the reverses, all of the SVs, or whatever they're called. And so I'm always looking for those too.
I agree. People ask me like, how do you even keep up? I said, I just go out and buy the singles or the master set. That's it. And I take all the other money that I save and I put it in my sealed products. That's exactly what I do. People ask, how do you even do it? I said, I just go out, buy some master set. I do not pay. I mean, don't get me wrong, I support some box breakers right here and there, but I don't go in saying I'm going to make money and collect, and I'm going to complete my collection by opening these packs. I just go buy the master set, save the money, put into sealed products. But I kind of stepped out with the sealed products game. It's just a little bit going on right now. I'll probably be back in like a year or two. But other than that, Father's Destiny, can you speak about the integrity in the secondary market, Uncle Dave? I remember you were saying Rusty's the only one to hold his original price when no one would. Ooh, that's a great question.
Yeah, I don't know what there's that old saying about maybe like somebody makes strange bedfellows, or, you know, greed, that concept of greed is good, whatever. Yeah, I think we have to understand it. We have to understand the concept of greed. We have to have empathy towards others. Look, the cards are theirs. They bought them. They have them. They should be able to do whatever they want with them, even if we don't like it. You know, I've had your situation where I've sold a beautiful card that somebody promised me was going into their collection, and it was a one of a kind. And the next thing I know, they got it graded, and instead of $5,000, they were trying to sell it for $50,000 on eBay. So the frustrations are so often that I always say to you guys, I keep my head down. I really try not to get into what everybody else is doing, because it's a recipe for frustration. And when people you think are your friends, the way you can tell is if somebody called me and said, David, help me get this card, help me get this set. If the first thing I think of is, okay, well, I'm going to charge you $200 to do that, I'm entitled to do that. My time is valuable. I'm just not going to do that. I don't do that. It's not me. And yet people that are much, much bigger than me, I've called them and said, you know, can you help me do this? And I've had, you know what, yeah, I'll get you that. That's going to cost you $500. And I'm like, what? Oh, okay, sure. What are you going to say? Because if you want it, you got to do what they want. These are people that I thought were my friends, but no, they're about greed and greed and greed. And they're entitled to be, but it doesn't mean it's not frustrating. So yeah, Rusty's a different character. You know, he's just a different person. The guy is the most genuine, kind-hearted person I've ever come across. And other people I've come across who I've done very well with, but their first question to me all the time is, you know, you're gonna sell me the stuff back you bought from us? Don't you want to buy this card for $100,000? It's the only PSA 10 in the world. Come on, don't you want to buy that? You really should have that in your collection. So the constant pressure of selling and the rest of it shows me where their mind is focused, as opposed to me when I talk to people is, are you sure you want to own this? Is it going to make you happy? You guys look at my website. I'm the only one pushing payment plans. I'm the only one out there saying, please ask me about a payment plan, because this is the most beautiful $5,000 set you're going to ever find. So instead of not buying it because you don't have $5,000, pay me $500 a month for 10 months. I won't raise the price on you. And you'll have a wonderful set in 10 months because if I'm still alive in 10 months, I'm going to get it to you. So, my point is I want people to be able to enjoy and get good stuff too, and not where it's all going into my pockets right now because I got to have it because I got to have the inflated price, etc. But I get it. It does get frustrating.
It does. And I want to make sure I do things that are beneficial to the community. That's my goal, and that's why I did the whole channel. And that's my main goal. And I want to make sure that I associate myself with people that are also beneficial to the community. And unfortunately, I've been involved in some channels where I see that it's not heading that way. So I just back myself out right away. But that's my biggest concern, is just exactly what you just stated. As in, if I sell my boxes, right, and they say it's going to go to their collection, they're not going to flip it two or three times on the channel, because that's one of their selling point, is that you're going to make money, you're going to make a lot of you're going to be pokey rich if you pull this in a PSE 10. And they're usually to new collectors who doesn't know any better. And that's where I don't want to go, and that's my biggest fear. So but that's what it is. I'm really glad that you feel the same way too. Thank you, David. David, yeah.
How do you feel if people were to reach out to you? Do you allow people to reach out to you and say, hey,
oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. What should I do on this? Or do you say you have to pay me money to get that answer, or do you try to help them?
Absolutely. I try to help them. I will be very honest. But the more that this channel grows, I get a lot of questions. I mean, I can't even keep up with them. I can't. The questions that are really tiring are the more speculative question, as in, should I buy this box? Should I buy that box? What do you think about this and there? Because there's lots of variable, right? There are lots of it. If someone asks, should I invest in shiny fates? It's very speculative. I tell them, look, I really don't have a crystal ball. I really, really don't. And I always preach about the same thing. Sealed products is probably the safest bet, right? Even though I don't know, Pokemon can just completely die. I mean, who knows? I mean, at this point, it probably doesn't seem like it, but I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. It does, but I try to help them. I really do. But at the same time, I've also noticed, I don't want to ignore the comments, you guys. I'm really sorry. But at the same time, I noticed that there's a lot of confirmation bias, right? If you don't tell them what they want to hear, they'll think that, you're very negative, and I don't fall on that hype, because I've seen it. I've seen prices go up. I've seen them go way down, up, down, up, down. And I do firmly believe that prices are falling down right now, because I check every day on Facebook trying to buy things, and people can't sell them. There's so many posts on Facebook Verbank and Pokemon War right now with slabs. So many of them that are coming back. They can't sell. They're claim sales. They can't sell them. And again, so I mean, I try to be very honest, but I'm very careful of how I present information as well. And that's something I have learned. But yeah. Anyways, let's go back to the question. David, I want to ask you the same question I asked Sean on the last Q&A. Do you think that in the future digital collection will overtake physical collection in popularity?
Yeah, so I'm kind of like, I would say the same thing, that obviously I don't have a crystal ball. I do not know. It is my opinion that a lot of what you're seeing in the digital collection world these days is related to more speculative folks looking to enter an infancy type situation. You're seeing it big in the non-fungible tokens right now, and that kind of stuff. So I think it's people saying, look, we're trying to jump in on something at Amazon at its infancy, and hopefully it goes up, 100,000-fold or something. The reality is there is something about the foundation of this hobby that is really about cards in your hand, that limited supply. And if the continuing nature of more and more collectors come in, especially with their kids, as there's this surge of folks that watch these channels, that a lot of them are in the late 20s, early 30s. as they grow families and they're collectors and they come into more and more disposable income, I think they're still going to want to fill binders, so to speak, more so than the digital world. So that's just my opinion. I'm sure there's always going to be a market on the other side too. And you're also going to have a lot of people that are, it takes a lot of time. You might look at it as like electric cars or something. There's a lot of folks that drive electric cars, but there's still a lot that don't understand where do I charge up? Where do I do these other things? And while that's all going on, you're still having an underlying price appreciation in the older stuff too. So don't know if that's the answer.
Is it safe to say that you're not sold on it yet?
On the digital stuff?
Yes, it seems like from what I'm getting from your answer.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
great. I got, okay, that's one perfect here. Here, awesome. Sure. Is the Charizard box topper from Legendary Collection?
It's from one of those three, and I'm so bad at this, and I'm sorry. So I just put it on my site even, and I don't even remember what I think there's like 16, so 4 from Skyridge and 4 from Legendary and 4 maybe from Aquapolis and maybe Expedition, if I'm guessing. So I don't know which one of they're from, but it's one from one of those. Yeah.
Okay, or is it Crystal box topper versus Scratch? There's Cheese. Ben Affleck. Hey, you got the best compliment here. Ben Affleck, there you go.
Thanks, Cheesy. Love you, man. Let's do some pimento.
Let me go here. I do want to ask you this, even though you don't grade your cards, but I want to ask you. I'm very big on CGC. I really am. They grew on me. Are you sold on them? If you were to grade your cards, right, would you pick between PSA or CGC if you have the same turnaround time?
Yeah, very, very tough to answer. And what folks will find out about me is the 2 things that I live my life around, the 2 mantras are accountability and transparency. So accountability means that I take responsibility for everything that happens, good or bad. It's not my employee's fault. It's not my team's fault. It's my fault. If something happens, a decision that goes wrong, it's my fault. You have to look in yourself and figure out what you could have done different to make a different outcome instead of blaming other people. And there'll always be that answer. The other piece is transparency. So let's talk about CGC. Everybody screams at me, grade your darn cards, grade your pre-release rights, grade your movie promos that you only have, there's 2 sets in the whole world, the unstamped versions, not the inverted stamp, the 4 unstamped versions of those. Grade your Tropical Mega Battle sets, whatever it would be. So the reality is, since I don't know much grading, I talk to other people and they say, look, you know what? The only company that has a chance of grading that for you is going to be CGC. Because the other companies, maybe Beckett will, but people don't have that value for Beckett, maybe not. So how do I say something negative about CGC when they might be the only way? I think people will buy my pre-release rights not graded because they know where it came from. It's all been written about. It's the only one out there that's been authenticated to this moment in time. Uncle Dave may know more than that, but it's not giving any information at this point. So basically, what happens with that? Well, I need to keep them still on the right side. I have to not have them alienate them for me. As far as CGC goes, personally, they're just still not proven enough for me. That's all. I worry when a company comes new that we've already seen some things they did, apparently, on the E4 boards that got them removed, some employees, hyping or not hyping. So we've seen some of that go on. I'm not sure about the grading standards and how consistent they are. I've seen some of the cards that I haven't stood up to what I would grade a way that they did. And I know that the reputation-wise, PSA is there. So no, at this point, I see the difference in pricing. If I do trades, I take PSA cards in trades. I don't do CGC. I see the difference in pricing between PSA and CGC. It's considerable and still there. It may wane over time because of the pricing to grade and all the rest of it. I'm just not there yet. It's just still, it's kind of like my dad always said, don't buy the brand new model of anything coming out, as a car or whatever, because you're going to still have the problems. Wait till it's really fixed itself for 2 or 3 years down the road and then hop in. So that's just me personally, but I think everybody should be I'm ready to start my own grading company, believe me. And I think it would go just fine. I think people would be glad to have me grade because it'd be Pokemon only, and it would be my standards, which there's no variation in my standards. You'd have a final level of quality control going out the door. And I think eventually people would be that because it'd be 1/10 the price, and you'd have authenticated, originated cards, and that's what I have to worry about. So, I think anybody could do it if they just did it right and kept the right reasoning behind why they run the business, how they run it.
Thank you so much. That's a really, really great answer. And just to let you guys know, I recently showed you guys the picture of that. Let me double check if I can get it here, of that pre-release Raichu that he has. So, a little bit of a background on the pre-release Raichu. There it is. David, do you see the screen?
I can.
Okay, there you go. There you go. That timestamp right there says pre-release. So back then, there was a forum that says this card is not real. It does not exist. I'm sure you've heard it all, but it does, you guys. He has it. David has it. So I'm going to get it here. Swami, what gives you the most joy today? Is it looking at your collection or adding to it or getting a good deal? Or
Yeah, Swami, we got to be friends. Make sure. I don't know who you are, but I'm going to know who you are because, man, wow, we fit like a glove. The most joy today. I don't. Wow, it's just such a great question. It's not looking. Let's do process of elimination. We're doing multiple choice. Okay, looking at my collection, no. I don't have time to look at my collection. That's a frustration, not a joyful thing. Adding to my collection, maybe. I do like the fact that I check something off the list. I buy a Shining Fates master set, and I'm glad to have it, very much so. I look at it for 4 seconds and put it on a shelf. That's not great. So getting a good deal, gosh, I do love good deals. I don't know what to say. I do like good deals. I mean, I've been hustling and trying to make a living since I was 18. So there's nothing wrong with that. I think it comes down to what I'm busy with. Right now, I'm very, very focused on doing my daily life experiences, which is my job and teaching my son and coaching basketball that I have to do to continue to maintain my life. And so what's left after that is my website. And so the most joy comes from, getting things out there when I can put 15 new products out there. And when I see that there's 4 new people who found it, that's really because, as I mentioned, I just bought a collection. It was $300,000. I just listed $300,000 worth of inventory.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and I've got millions behind it that needs to get out there. I've got 3 more collections that are larger than that I've held for years. I've got all the boxes you can see there on the piano that haven't been put out there yet. We're going to try to do that hopefully in the next couple days.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to keep momentum and dollars moving so I can finally finish all this stuff up in the next, 5 years or so and keep things moving. And I've got more collections coming. I've got some gorgeous collections coming from all vintage. I've got jungle cards and original Team Rockets. So that is really where I get the most joy, and not because I'm selling anything, because it's not going to sell overnight. People have to find you. I'm running Facebook ads now, but it's accomplishing something. What I get is I put my head down. I've taught my kids, do the work, take your time, put the effort in, and good things will happen. And that's what I'm trying to do. And I want to say one last thing, Swami, because I think this is interesting. It's just me as a human being. I just started putting a page on my website called Clearance. And it's all the cheaper cards or lesser condition cards that I have recently acquired. And I put them out 47 cents, 97 cents, $1.47. And I had so much fun with people that came to me and said, my son and I love buying your cards. We don't have a lot of money and we're having fun just buying dollar cards. So that was.
Where is it, David? I don't see the clearance section. Where is it?
Go to shop at the top. You go to shop at the top, and then you'll see come up. Yeah.
Okay.
And then that lists all the different collections that are there. As I keep going, you might have to go again.
Right here.
Somewhere there it'll say clearance or something. Pokemon clearance.
I see it.
So I'll reload it again. But that is.
There you go.
yeah, that's the joy for me of being able to put cheaper stuff, and I'll keep adding to it because I really want people to enjoy however they collect, just like I do what I collect. So
You sell out fast. There's a lot of out of stock.
I just put it on. It was all gone within a week. I just put it all on within the last week.
Yeah, it's definitely I would say about 85% gone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I said before, I just can only do so much. So, but it was fun.
So where are you gonna list the booster boxes? I assume it's gonna be on the shop, and it's probably gonna be sealed, huh?
It'll say Pokemon booster boxes.
So, okay.
Pokemon booster boxes.
Collection boxes. Let's try here.
No, not collection.
Oh no, I'm not. Oh,
yeah.
Here. Oh, so you have a lot of sealed products. Wow, I did not see this. We go here. Packs unweighed. Let me go here.
It should be. I don't have my. You're too far away for me to see, but it's probably towards the top.
Okay. Let me go. Clearance. I think I got it right here.
Those aren't box breaks, right? There's actually boxes or not?
Yeah, they are.
Okay. So again, I've got nothing listed. We just began to list. I've got tons and tons. Everything on that piano is going to get out there. So I just got to get out there. Yeah.
I definitely want to buy this box from you. So we're going to definitely talk after here. Let me go to here. Nice. Do you vet who are buying your boxes at all? Or do you vet them at all?
As far as being sealed and where they come from?
No, as in, let's just say if someone's buying your box, do you care if someone has a good reputation in the community? I'm sure you do, but as in, because I've definitely vet who I sell my booster boxes to, as in like, it's going to go to a collector or someone that's going to flip it on the stream. Do you vet at all, or do you just go, okay, this is it? That's my biggest fear, is just going to the wrong person.
Yeah. No, it's really hard to. I mean, where I vet is I have to vet financially. So I do try to work to make sure the person's legitimate, so that they're at least have the money and they're not going to rip me off. It's too much money for me to get ripped off originally. Sometimes I do. A lot of times I know who buy from me because I've dealt with them before. So I usually try to get a flavor for it, but I've been burned so many times, just like you, as far as selling to people who said they were going to do something else, that I've learned through my life that you can't control people. Like, as much as I want to guide them in a way that might be beneficial for all of us, I'm never going to be able to do that. So I kind of have to let them do their own thing, and I have to make sure I'm doing okay in the midst of it. If I catch something I don't like, I'm absolutely willing to stop it in its tracks. But I'm probably not as motivated as you, in the sense that, you know, the right and wrong aspect, just because it's just hard for me to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I was going to say one more thing, but I can't remember. You said that. I don't remember what I was going to say. So.
That's okay. We'll go back to the comments. A little bit way behind. Jody wants to know, how many special delivery Pikachu do you have, Dave? Don't answer. If you rather keep that confidential, please. I have one I got from the website, kept still in the wrapper. I'm happy with that. Nice.
Yeah, I think I might have got two at that time before they were limiting on the website. I placed 2 orders or something, and that's probably it. I didn't look to buy for any kind of money making. It was more for my collection.
Very nice. I have zero. Zero. I'll get there. You know, I'm kind of hoping they'll do another release. I mean, it will shock me if they do. If it's for you to open it and store it as well, the plastic can damage unless you can secure it as well. I'm not too sure. Oh, they're talking. Yep, MSRP too. Yep. We go here. Senior rocks.
Yeah, you know what? There's something I'll tell you about us seniors. It's there's something about wisdom, and it's you know, this has been a funny year or two with the pandemic, and a lot of this country, honestly, I'm not political and I'm not religious. I don't get into stuff. I'm the least confrontational person ever. If it's confrontational, I'm going the other direction. So have no interest in trying to convince anybody of anything. But what we've seen in this country in the last year and a half or so is that a lot of folks have kind of thrown away the seniors. You know, there's a lot of people who are like, well, you know, it's just let them die from the pandemic and the rest of the people will be okay. And it's just survival of the fittest. The one thing that seniors have is we do have some wisdom out there. And that wisdom, it can really benefit younger and future generations too. So, I love the fact that I've got some tricks and tips up my sleeve that some of the youngsters haven't got yet. And some of them think that they know, but don't know. And they're not as willing to figure out they don't know. We know it all. We know it all. I take my information from everyone. It doesn't matter their age. It doesn't matter their financial level. I keep my ears and eyes open because I respect other people and their viewpoints. And I think I can learn a pearl of wisdom from everyone if I just listen. So I think seniors get that. And that's one of the things that's kind of cool to be in part of that community for some time as well. I can't hear you.
Sorry, I muted myself. I said exactly, perfectly. I love the way you worded it. Exactly. Let me go here. Oh, I totally skipped. Sorry about that. I got to go back. I got a question. Is it possible that another pre-release Raichu will recirculate on the market? If so, how much it would go for? Well, I highly doubt that, but this is all yours.
Yeah. There's a magazine issue. There's an issue of a new Pokemon magazine. I don't have it sitting in front of me. It just came out. And it's in the bookstores for about $10. So it's kind of fun. It's the 25th anniversary issue, and it's just out there. You can look in your Walmarts or your Safeways or something like that. And they listed like 10 of the most valuable cards. And it reminded me of a video that DJ Gigabyte did recently, where they say the pre-release Raichu is about worth $10,000. Well, okay, talk about out of date, because I've had offers for about $250,000 now for mine. So this is what's going on in the hobby and the one of a kinds. Will another pre-release Raichu circulate? Who knows? I would definitely guess so. I think there were 10 or 11 originally. I believe that there's probably a total of 3 or 4 in total that still exist. I do not know that. I just believe that I think there's a chance Wizards of the Coast people that are still there might still have 1 or 2. And what you'll find with me, folks, is as much as I show everything I can as quickly as I can, you might get some more information coming up in the next few months that will surprise you as well. So, so I think that these cards, whether or not there's 1, 2, 3, or 4, whatever, yeah, I think they would easily go these days for about a solid $250,000 if I were guessing.
Wow. Well, you are actually the first one that confirmed it. I've never heard another person that has it. So I'm actually excited to myself. I'm leaning towards no, but you never know. You never know. David, I'm a completionist too. Excellent. And focus on master set. However, I've been focused on sets after Black and White because I didn't play the game. Do you think I will regret this in the future? Price increases.
So help me here, but I think the question is that maybe regret the fact that they haven't gone back far enough. Is that how you're reading this question? Tell me how you're reading it.
I think he's asking, do you
Black and White?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. After Black and White, he stopped collecting. Do you think Black and White is going to increase? That's what I'm getting. Let me know, Baseball Boy, if I'm getting the question wrong. Yeah. That's
what he means. And I'm based Uncle Dave dummy guy. So that's the reason I can't I don't know if regret is the word. I don't think there's anything here to regret. I think it's what you enjoy. If you're talking about from investment or something like that, I think that there's a natural, if you think about it, there's a natural amount of money that people have to spend. You only have so much to spend. And so newer folks that are younger and still starting and still collecting and still involving their children, I have customers of mine that are all over this world that have their kids involved with them. They're going to start more current and work their way back. And the going back, although it's getting more and more expensive, it's still much more affordable than going back to $25,000, $50,000, $75,000, $100,000 boxes and sets. So, might you regret it a little bit? Maybe. You know, it's no different than a house. You know, you buy $1 million house, it goes to 2 million, you doubled your money. It's hard to buy a $4 million house and have it go to 8 million. If it goes to 5, you did very well. There's a percentage increase in this whole thing that makes a difference. Probably going to have a chance to make more of a percentage increase on a newer set than you are in an older one, but you see it on the new sets as well. I mean, I have a Call of Legends set out there right now that there's no one I can find anywhere, a full Call of Legends set that anybody's selling anywhere. So what was it when it came out? You know, $1,000, and now it's 7 or 8 or 9 with all of those special cards. So yeah, you know, as you move forward in this stuff, I don't know that you'll regret it, but they're all going to keep going up. They're all going to keep going up. You're seeing it set by set, era by era.
I got this question asked on the last stream, and I want your input on this. So I was just looking at comparing, and I was like, okay, well, let's say, you know, I'm thinking of buying more booster boxes, right, from you, and I have a lot of friends that are selling some. So if I give you 3 eras, I want you to rank them, okay, what I should invest in. I think I got my answer, but I just want to make sure. There's Heart Gold and Silver, there's Black and White, and Diamond and Pearl. There's 3 sets. Where would you rank them first? Let's say, okay, Uncle Dave, what should I buy first from, you know, 1 to 3? Where would you, what set would you buy first, second, and third?
And that's from the standpoint of the eras, not the individual sets, right? The 3 that you just
correct.
listed. Okay.
Correct.
You know, I don't know that I've ever thought about that. I would eliminate. I wouldn't buy Black and White. It just.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
That would be my first one out. I think it will still have fantastic appreciation, but for whatever reason, I think supply is much more limited in the other 2 eras. As far as the other eras, the ones that seem to be very dried up are these Heart Gold, Soul Silver. You know, those are the ones that seem to really be drying up tremendously. Diamond and Pearl, I think that they've had such a surge in the last 18 months, years, that, I mean, I was buying Secret Wonders at, you know, $600 to $1,000. I don't even see them for sale anymore. So
yeah,
I would be a toss up between the 2. If I had to pick, I probably would pick Heart Gold, Soul Silver. But it would be really, really hard, because I think there's, in the Diamond and Pearl world, there's some boxes that just aren't there. They're just not.
Yes. Yeah. The Secret Wonders box. Yeah. The Secret Wonders box. Yeah. So I'm in negotiation with a friend right now who is selling his a better condition, his Heart Gold and Silver base box. And I think we're looking around about 8,000 to 9,000. So we're just talking. And then I have another friend. I have a couple friends that are selling me some of their Black and White box. Some of the, they were selling me the Black and White base. I said, no, thank you. That box stinks. So I declined that right away. But they were looking at some Plasma Storm and Plasma Freeze, which I have it here. So I was looking, maybe should I just invest in 1 box of this, or buy multiple of Black and White, or multiple of Diamond and Pearl. So I got lucky. When I hoarded all these boxes, I hoarded a bunch of Diamond and Pearl. I do believe they will go up, but I don't know if it's going to organically go up. I think if it's going to go up, it's going to be because of the hype, and all the other Wizard of the Coast boxes are going to dry it up. But thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad you agree with me, because that's exactly what I listed. I listed as Heart Gold and Silver, Diamond and Pearl, then Black and White. So I've been looking a lot more of Heart Gold and Silver. Thank you so much. That's why I wanted that redundant box from you to get things going. All right, you guys, I'm head back to the comments. Sorry about that. I completely I just asked Uncle Dave a bunch of questions. David, what are you most excited to get back? So I like that, to get back when the world opens back up. I really want to go to the Japan Olympics, but that's okay. Pandemic happened. Ooh.
Yeah, you know, I some of you that know my story as well, I have compromised lungs. No one knows why. It could have been my parents smoking, so secondhand smoke when I was a kid all those years. So I've had to be very, very careful during this whole thing. I really have been cooped up. I finally have both vaccines now. I'm 2 weeks past all of it. So what I've enjoyed most, which is going to sound really silly, is going out and coaching my son in basketball. You know, being out on that playground again in the fresh air and enjoying that experience. That's been number one. I think it'd be really fun to go to a restaurant. Number two, I love to eat. So take my wife and go and have a nice time there and not feel any compromise of worry. And then as far as getting out in the world, you know, I guess I'd say worlds, obviously not this year, but next year. I really hope that I've created enough relationships and partnerships with people that I can hold some kind of special event and just interact with folks that have been so kind to me and with me. There's just people, for any of you though, folks that don't know me, I love the relationships. I'm a secluded person, an introvert. And so the folks that just say, hello, how you doing? And I say, hello, how you doing? And how are the kids? I love that part of this the most. And so it'd be really fun to get to hang with those folks for just a little bit and there or somewhere else at some point in time.
Yeah. Rusty is TCA Gaming. So let me go here. Turns me on. David, I want to be, of course, respect for your time. I can't believe it's almost 2 hours. I looked at it, I'm like, it's almost 2 hours. Let me know within 15 minutes in advance. I'll stop the question. I want you to be involved in the giveaway, of course. So let me go here. I'm going to go. Oh, there's more questions. Let me go here. I can't believe, I know, me too. How many different English Pokemon cards are out there? Master set, all trophy, etc., etc. Over 30,000. Ooh, I'm not too sure.
That's what it is. My spreadsheet probably gets to about 30. I've looked at it. I haven't looked at it for a while, but I think it was very much approaching. Very good guess, about 30,000. Yes.
Wow, that's a lot. And you know what? There's so much, because someone always asks me, why don't you go to Japanese? I said, I can't even keep up with the English. Do you want me to do Japanese and English? My goodness. Let me see that.
I always had a rule about that. My rule was I had to set a rule, and somebody asked you on one of these things that are passing by too, so I'll answer that at the same time. I always collected cards that I could read. So as far off the grid as I go is a bilingual card. There's the bilingual executor card, and there's the bilingual Lucky Stadium card that are very well known. But it has to have English on it in some degree, because that's kind of where I drew the line. One of you just asked something about, I saw it pass by, that Blastoise Magic Back card. And of course,
yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
Those folks have contacted me and said, look, please buy my card and spend $260,000 or whatever they want for it. I'm not interested in paying that kind of money. And two is, where I also draw the line is, it's got to have a legitimate Pokemon card back. So
okay.
Prototype. So that prototype card, or whatever they call it, it has a magic back on it. I either need an English or a Japanese card back. There are English cards with Japanese card backs, but to me, those are legitimate cards. Rusty at TCA Gaming, for example, he does sell some, they're prototypes that are photographic. They look like photos of the old days. They're actually on photo paper. So the back is white and the fronts are cards. Again, it wouldn't fit what I collect, because it really needs to be a legitimate Pokemon card. And then from there, I go from there. So just for how I differentiated it.
Gotcha. Oh, so they did reach out to you.
Yes, I have people that have the very expensive cards that have said, you need to have this as part of your collection. And I understand it, but like you said, maybe buy a house, maybe buy something else. There comes a point when it's no different that I would be very reticent these days to spend $100,000 or $500,000 on a booster box, because I wouldn't know where it came from. People can tell you, you've seen the box openings in the last few months, where people found out, oh, this gentleman had it in his safe for 10 years, 15 years, and it was completely tampered. So I know where every box came from. Everybody knows when they buy from me that I vetted every box, have a chain of custody or command on everything. But I don't know that when I go to buy it, and I'm willing to maybe take a chance on a $5,000, $10,000 box, but I won't take that chance on something that's just so much more expensive. The capital is too important to much into one thing.
That is true. I do want to show you a box later that I bought about 5 years ago. It's still sitting up there. I couple boxes up there I haven't pulled down yet, but I do want to show you this box a little bit later.
That's why you want to need 3 houses, because you need one of them to hold all your boxes. So congratulations on that. So.
Thanks. I thought that I only need one box, which is a Logan Paul box, but Jessica from Geeked Out Collecting says, "Do you have a Shadowless box?" I says, "No, I don't." So I take that back, you guys. There's 2 booster boxes sealed that I do not have, and I was telling Uncle Dave that. I do have the capital. Don't get me wrong, you guys. I do have the capital, but I am buying it. I am not buying. I'm not going to spend it on a booster box. I'm going to buy my 3rd house with that. I am not going to. I am not going to. I'm going to buy something that I'm almost sure going to appreciate, which is the house, and it will. So I live in Orange County, and houses are pretty. It's pretty tough here to buy property. So that's something I'm looking to invest. Not big on that booster box yet. I don't think I'll ever get a hand on it unless I become really rich, and I'll be like, okay, 200 or 300,000. That's nothing. But with 300,000, I would most likely buy another house in Orange County. Have y'all? Hey Wes, seen a few Pokemon that HGA graded? I've never heard of that. Have you? I was like in the custom label at the top of the slab. Not a grader though. HGA. Have you heard of that?
I have not.
David? Oh wow, let me share my screen. It's actually not that bad, but I've never heard of it. I'm sorry, I've never heard of this. Let me share my screen. Oh, HGA grading. New grading company right there. Hey, looks really nice. McCaft. No, I apologize. I have not heard of that, but thank you. I'm gonna double check and look that a try. Oh, you got a new buyer right there from Jody. Hey, Jackson. David, if you're reading this, please start pictures outside of sleeve and maybe consider a darker background. Sleeves make it a very hard to gauge condition. That's true.
Yeah, I just want to comment on that. So that's a very good comment. I really appreciate it. One of the things when people buy from me is they kind of trust my condition grading. So so I kind of give the pictures as a way to just give an example. But with most of the cards, I actually, I have a very systematic way of grading near mint to mint, near mint plus, near mint to mint plus, mint, etc. But if you ever need pictures or want to see more pictures, I'm glad to give you more too. But that's great feedback. I appreciate it.
Hey, kid. How are ya? It says, hey, Uncle Dave and PokeGal. Hey, Lynn. How are you doing? Hey, Yangy. How are ya? PokeGal, I just came from Frankenstein. First time there. What an awesome place to buy. There was a pretty long line. I hope you didn't have to wait in line. Okay, let me tell you something. When you go to Frankenstein's, right? I apologize, Dave. I'm gonna tell them a little trick. When you go to Frankenstein's, right? When you go walked in, there's the Pokemon section on the far left, and there's more Pokemon products on the far right. Never buy your booster boxes from the far left, right? Because they think this is how they're smart. They're smart. They're very smart vendors there. When people walked in at Frankenstein's, the first thing they see is Pokemon. Ooh, booster boxes. And they say that's the first thing they see. And they're always priced higher because that's the first thing that people see. And they're like, okay, booster boxes, I'm here to buy. But if you go to the far right towards the end, there's vendors there. The booster boxes are about $20 cheaper. Just let you know. Go not the far. There's not the Pokemon section. The prices are high, but go down to the far right, the last row, last 2 rows. The booster boxes are always $20 cheaper. So let's let you know. Hey, Think Forward W. I think Forward. There you go. What are your thoughts on trophy-like cards from different languages / countries, such as Taiwan, i.e. raffle cards, given out to the winners of the tournament?
Yeah, again, it's hard for me. I wish I had answers. That'd make me so much more interesting if I actually could answer anything that was other than the mundane. So I apologize, as I'm inability to think forward is coming up right now. So, I don't know much other than English. In the trophy-like cards from the English world or that kind of stuff, as long as they're legitimate, as long as they're not what they call facsimiles or proxies, I do like that stuff. I do think that they're, if they're listed as a variant to a set card or something, they should be something that people look at for their collections. But I don't know about different languages or countries, unfortunately, because I just don't, I don't follow them.
David, I do have a question. Think for it. Hopefully it was answered. But let me know. Always just, do a quick forum search if you have any other concern or like any other question, hopefully. But David, I do have a question. Let's say if someone, because I saw on your website, always buying collection, I assume booster boxes. Is there a way for you to realize that, hey, this is a real booster box? How do you authenticate a booster box? What do you look for besides the Wizard of the Coast seal? But there's also complaints about people rusty, right? There's one of a video, and I see fantastic resealed boxes, even with the Wizard of the Coast logo sealed on there. What do you look for if someone says, I have this box to sell to you?
Right. So the most important thing is the person. It's not the box or its condition. Obviously, we can all look at the box. We can look at the condition. It's, do you know the person? Do you know their history in the hobby? Do you know where they bought from or not bought from in the past? How much, can you basically ascertain, if you want to call it sleuthing and going backwards to try to find out where they acquired those boxes? So a lot of folks become contacts of other contacts, friends of friends, things have been put away, distributors, etc. I have to have some typical background. I do not consider myself an expert necessarily in the looking at the box and physically seeing it. People are too clever these days. There are some obvious things you can look at. People call me all the time and say, look, I want to compare these tins. I had someone call me about a month ago and said, I've got some very old tins that are being offered to me. Do you have anything that I can compare the cellophane wrap on? So I had those old tins and I could pull them up and say, yeah, mine don't have any gaps. Doesn't mean they're not legitimate, but mine are all completely sealed. There's no holes in them. So you can do some comparisons, but the most important thing I find is knowing who it is that you're buying from and where it came from. And I don't buy as much on the sealed stuff anymore, because it's harder and harder to do. When I say buying collections, I buy anything depending on if I can vet it. But I've lately been buying much more set collections, individual card collections, promo card collections, a lot of that stuff, because people are still looking at reverse holos and doing things to build their sets, and they can't necessarily find them in the right condition they're looking for or the right price.
That's true. I'm going to full screen myself real quick. I want to show you this box about 5 years ago for, I think, $420 for fit. I forgot, but it was in the 400 or 500. Not crazy back then. Can you believe 5 years ago or 6 years ago, there was only 400 first edition? So I'm going to full screen myself. I'm going to show you this box, okay? I'm hoping it's real, but back then it was about 5 years ago. I went to my storage and I got this box out, and I kind of was really disappointed that I didn't caught this, but I'm going to show it to you, right? I'm going to full screen. I'll let you guys see it. So did you see how there's the flapped here, right? Both of it has a little bit of the flapped here right there. And this one's actually more prominent. So I was a little bit nervous that this box was actually open and someone folded the flap, right? The little flapped here. I shook it and there was a little bit of a rock, but I don't even know. But I think the rock fell in the corner. And look at that sealed. Is this normal to you? Have you seen anything like this? Someone said that it's just basically, pushed down. But this was really concerning to me. Let's just say if I bought you this box, what would be like something that you'll take a look for? Because right now I'm still buying, first edition boxes here and there. And you're right, I do question, but a lot of my friends were just like, look, this is in my storage. I got this a while back. I don't even know if it's resealed or not. So it's kind of hard for me as well. And I'm going to put you back on, David.
Yeah. I think the interview would go a lot better if you never put me back on the screen. I just like to say,
no!
I think you're making a huge mistake. Maybe I could just fade out and let Pikachu sit here and I'll just sit behind him and talk. I think part of the answer, and there's no perfect answer to this, but when you talk about, so a lot of tonight you've talked about, hey, this friend I may buy this box for my friend. I may buy this box for my friend. You rely on that. You rely on the fact that you kind of know what they collected and that they stored it away and all the rest of it. The fact that you bought that box 5 years ago before the real price increases took place in this hobby, it would lead me to believe, and it's got the regular seal of the Wizards, whatever it's got on there. I can't see that well because I'm almost 60 and my eyes don't work. But whatever, it looks like it's got the original sealing of, is it Wizards of the Coast on there?
Yeah, it does. But the little thing here kind of just scared me a little bit.
Right.
But that's okay. I have like 5 of these in the storage, but this one I took out because I was really disappointed. But I was just hoping that it was just probably something that was just pushed back down. But then, it could be, open that. I've seen a great reseal job, and I noticed a little resealed here, a little scared me a little bit, but.
I think it's the timing. I think when you see folks that are opening boxes now and they're finding out they were resealed, they just bought them now. They're buying them now when the hobby's gone up 10, 15, 20 fold in prices. And so the incentive for scammers to do that is what is there. This is not the case when you bought that many years ago. There wasn't necessarily that much money for someone to spend the time and effort to do that.
Yeah. And when I got that box, the person that I bought it from, it was at Frankenson's, by the way. And I asked him, I can't believe this box was still sitting here, because I'm such a huge collector. He goes, oh, yeah, that box has been sitting there for 3 months. Nobody's interested at all. I said, okay, I'll take it and compare now. That was just only 5 to 6 years. And I've been collecting for, quite a while. And I met a lot of people from YouTube. And I remember one of my good friends right now, he had just a regular base booster box and was selling for like $550. And he could not sell them. He could not sell. I took 2. I bought 2. And he's like, I could not sell them. And I would not see that. Hey, Poke Garage, Uncle Dave. Great to see you here. Any of your children into? No, we talked about this.
No, you were just a little late for the answer to this question, but it's basically, if I say blue, they're going to say red. So if I say green, they're going to say purple. So no, they don't have anything I'm interested in except, basically taking money and doing what they want with it.
Where are you going to open that box? Nah, never. I don't have diamond hands. I don't open any boxes. So, hey, Car, how are you going? Looks like your logo has wear. So yeah, the only way to find out is to open it. That is so funny. Looks like we're gonna caught up in the comments. I'm gonna ask you now. It's my turn to ask you some of the questions. I'm pretty excited. So let me go here. So I do have a little bit of a problem. We talked about this is selling, right? I mean, I'm very financially stable now, but I do want to go venture into different things, right? Buy more property. That's my main thing is buy property. I want to have at least 5 houses. I'm in my 30s. I want at least my 40s. I want to have at least 5 houses. I am looking into selling. I really am. And I do have a little bit of an emotional attachment to it. So how do you decide, okay, I'm going to let this go and I'm going to keep this? How do you decide what to sell and what to keep?
So I think I look at a couple of things. One, I look at if I have multiples of something, I think that makes it easier from an emotional attachment standpoint to say, well, I've got 4, so let's go ahead and get rid of 1. So now that, I'm not down to 2 or, I've got plenty still there, so to speak. In case I sell it too cheap, well, I can still leverage the next level of profit as I sell the next one. The other thing is, I think you might look at overall profitability of a transaction. So yeah, this thing has gone up and you paid $500 and it's worth $50,000. That's not a bad profit to capture. It comes down to people's level of certainty versus uncertainty and how much they believe they know. Everybody tends to believe they know everything. And the reality is nobody knows anything. And when people understand that, there's no certainty. If you look at sports cards, I just got 2 sports cards. I just got 2 1989 and 1988 Fleer baseball cases of boxes out of my dad's garage, because I used to be in that business 25 years ago, whatever, 30 years ago. And I opened them up and I just put them on eBay. The boxes I'm selling on eBay today cost me less today. I'm charging less today than what I paid in 1988. So they didn't depreciate. They've done nothing. And Pokemon has been hot, has been cold, is now hot, and can be cold. And I don't necessarily believe it'll be, ice cold, because I do think it'll go cold if we get to recession or inflation or things when people can't purchase anymore. It'll go through cycles. I'm not sure it'll go to nothing. But when you understand you can pocket an amount of money that is now yours and it's yours and no one can take that away, you have to understand that it's still cardboard. It's just a piece of cardboard. It's not food that goes in someone's system. It's not gas that goes in your tank. It's not a house that you have, whatever that is. There's always going to be, everyone needs a house. Not everyone needs a Pokemon box. So if you're real about it and you understand the value of money, it just becomes down to the level of gamble. How long do you ride the train before eventually you're the one that paid the most for it and it did come down and you never got your money back? And we saw it with this whole craze recently in the stock market for GameStop stock, right? All the short sellers, all that stuff where, people were buying and buying and buying. Somebody bought at the top before it collapsed. There's always one late to the party. So I'm always going to rather be early to the party. I don't regret anything. Making money is making money. If I make, I try to look at every transaction and say, can I make 30%? That happens to be what I like as a number. Can I make 30% on a product that I bought and then I sold net? So if I can buy, a booster box and make 30% on it, and I buy something else and I'm okay with that, doing it over and over again. So if I were 100% certain things are going to go up, it's a different thing. But when you want to amass capital, by the way, buying houses is always fun. I'm glad your listeners get to hear this because it's hilarious. I tell everyone on my team, buying real estate is the most addicting thing. And the people that do it, they count their numbers. I don't want to own 4 houses. I want to own 5, 6, 7. It becomes an addiction to the number. And then, of course, what am I doing at my age? Every year we sell a house because I don't want to be burdened with the renters and the repairs, right? Because I'm now coming to that point in life where I want to simplify. So, but I get what you're saying. It's funny to hear you say, well, I own 3. Now I want to own, I own 2. I'm going to buy my 3rd. I want to own 5 because I've heard it a million times by my clients who, they want to buy real estate and no one can own 1. It's like you can't eat 1 Ruffles potato chip. You have to eat 10. So it's the same thing with real estate. So maybe it's the same thing with Pokemon boxes. You can't own 1 Pokemon box. You have to own, I got to have 5, 10, 172. So yeah.
That's true. I think with selling a house, I think I would think I'll be okay with house flipping. I really am because, one, I'm not that heavily invested in. I'm not emotionally invested. That's the correct term.
Yes.
Emotionally invested in the house because I won't sell my childhood home. My parents gave that to me when my mom did. I won't ever sell that. But I'm not emotionally attached to it. But with the collection, it's been with me for quite a while. And I care a lot about the community, hence why I did this channel. But I'm looking into it. I go back and forth. I really did. And I think, again, with one of the biggest turnoff is that I noticed that people just saying, I sold this box to somebody and they turn out to just flip it 3 to 2 times. I think that really just was a turn off for me where I'm like, I'll just probably not the best thing for me to do right now. But I thought it was really, but thank you for letting me know because I do, if I sell, because I bought this back then when I bought these booster boxes for like when they were $80 and $100. So I know the rate of return or rate of investment is significantly high, but I gotta still think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's definitely worth a lot more, even if it's resealed, because I think a box now, even it's open, I think it was selling for maybe 500. I could be wrong. Absolutely. Oh yeah, that's true. David, what is your rarest Pokemon plush toy?
Yeah, no rarity there. I have to limit myself. I very rarely buy anything that's not card related. I splurged on the Pikachu I bought years ago from Pokemon Center. And then the Psyduck, what I asked for, what did I ask for it for? So I guess I asked for it for my holiday gift this year. I said to my kids, do me a favor. Can I get like I asked for a greedy. I said, give me $15 each. So that's all I want. And that's the one benefit of having 100 kids. So everybody kicked in $15 and I used it to help pay for my new Psyduck friend who I just had to have. I couldn't resist it. I don't know why. Because I was doing these videos and I just like these two guys. They make me smile and they're yellow and yellow's my favorite color because, you know, when you're old, a lot of your body fluids go yellow or that's too much.
Oh, that's not true.
Okay, yeah.
I love it. I love my favorite two colors are red and yellow. Oh, there he goes.
Right.
Green's okay. I don't know why I wore this shirt, but I thought same thoughts. David, I'm kind of excited to begin that series. Pop booster box that kept selling for the past 50 years from your site. It'll probably stay in their Wi for another 15.
Yeah, Jody, thank you. I saw during the broadcast that you said you went to my site and you bought some things while we were on here and that just to reward that. That's just really kind. I mean, I can't say enough. I write a personal thank you note to everybody that even bothers to look at it because it means so much that anybody would take the time. We all very hard to make money, takes a lot of work and effort. So thank you for doing that. That was very kind.
Hey, B-Royd, how are you doing? David, I want to ask you, because I think the last time you said that you bought that whole collection for $65,000, right? What did it increase to in your opinion, value-wise?
Yeah, no, I don't even think about it, honestly. I don't think that I would never divulge a number, just so you know. So that might have been something you and I talked about privately that you weren't supposed to reveal right now.
Sorry. My bad.
But it doesn't matter because I could, like I said, things happen and that's how it goes. But just don't ever invite me back on because I'm not coming. So yeah, it's okay. Just one comment can change the whole thing. But no, I don't. I never calculate. Because I'm too busy doing other stuff. So I just kind of go box by box, and when I can get it out there, I put it out there, and I try to be reasonable with the market and what things are doing. So I've never looked at it as a collection anymore. It's just whatever boxes I bought, and they're just in inventory now, and will come back out of inventory hopefully within the next 7 days or so. I'll get at least one of each on the site.
Nice. I'm looking forward to that Undaunted box, and I'm considering another one with the Unleashed. So I'm pretty sure I'm heading towards Hard Gold and Silver. I'm really excited for that. I will definitely be private messaging you that. Me and David are Facebook friends, so I have the first dip of annoying David, as in like, hey, I'm ready to pay. I want that box.
I know the good news is once you buy it, you'll tell the world all the details. I wish you wouldn't, but that's okay. So that's all right. So,
oh, David.
You're like a feral cat. I can't control you at all. Okay.
Hey, feral cats are hard to catch, by the way. That's true. Very, very hard to catch, and they are very, very wild. You think I'm a wild one? I like that. Yeah. I like that. I really.
I'm turning all red now. I can't.
No, you're supposed to turn yellow. You just said it before. Not red, but yellow.
My inside.
So you're both of my favorite colors, red and yellow.
Thank you.
Very, very nice. I appreciate that. David, I think we're almost at 2 hour mark. That'll be perfect. Would you like to be part of the giveaway?
Absolutely. I have no idea what it is, but I'm right here and ready to go.
Perfect. Do you have a pen and a piece of paper?
I can get one. Would you like me to get one? Do I need to get one?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, I actually put on pants just in case you ask me to go and do something. Okay? I'll be right back.
He's so funny, you guys. Is it just, we're going to ask him. Oh, SRR, that's so funny. It's a fast number. Oh, that's so funny. I hope David wins. Anyways, you guys, just letting you guys know. So there you go. He's back. Here. Okay. I want you to put guess a number 1 to 500, but don't let them see. Let them see. Put it, hide it behind 1 to 500.
Yes, I will.
Perfect. So you got a really great compliment. Look at there. Is it just me or David looks like a bodybuilder tonight?
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know what? I'm going to explain one of my new videos. I picked up one of those Facebook ads, and we've been putting in some time in the living room doing a few extra exercises. So I'm definitely working on it.
I currently have a cat that lives under my house. I've been trying to catch. Definitely a feral cat. You need to go buy a drop trap, and then you need to buy. I know all this stuff. I do TNR, which is trap, neuter, and return. Buy a drop trap. Get the food there. Don't feed the cat for 2 days. Let the cat in and pull the bowl. Anyways, hey Gerardo, there you are.
Feral cats, love them.
Feral cats. Oh, they're so funny. Let me go here. I love it. All right, you guys. I'm gonna set up the giveaway, but before I do, I'm gonna head this back to you. Don't feed it for 2 days. If you're trying to catch it, that's what I meant, because the cat needs to be hungry to go to the trap. Hefe. So there you go.
Also, if you want to look good for bodybuilding, don't eat for 2 days. Intermittent fasting. Just hard diet and just live like that. Okay.
I'm gonna set full screen to you for your final thoughts while I set up the giveaway. Okay, David. I'm gonna head to and
I should go. Final thoughts. Hi, it's Uncle Dave. Thank you for listening to my final thoughts. I think you should sleep well at night. I think that what is that stuff called, melatonin or something? It's not bad. If you've got a bad day with your collection or something, I think you should love your collection no matter what it is. I think you should enjoy it. You should appreciate it. You should revel in it. You should take the time to look at it. I think it's cool to be able to sit quietly and do something these days where you're not completely all over the place with social media. I appreciate all the folks that are collecting and doing that, because they're the folks and the guys and girls that are sitting there actually sort of in the moment, enjoying and not looking what other people are doing. Keep your eyes and ears sort of down on what you're doing. It just makes it so much easier to be happy with things. And always I say to me, reach out. If I can help in any way, you know what? I can't live forever. I want to. I'd be fun to. It's not going to happen. So if I can help you while I'm still alive on the planet, stop on by. Give me a text. Give me an Instagram. Give me a Chattergram. Give me a Snapchat. Give me anything. I have no idea what I'm saying. Just reach out, okay? And I will help. I will advise. I'll tell you my advice might be terrible, but I'm going to try to make sure it's relevant to you. And but if I can help in any way, reach out, and I'm glad to provide advice, wisdom, help. And also, last thing, check out my website, because if there's anything you like, I'm glad people do payment plans for $400. They pay me $50 a month for 8 months, and they get what they want. And by the time they get it, it's doubled in price, but I still send it to them because why not? They paid me, right? So I try to help in any way I can. And I appreciate all of you. You guys and gals are fantastic. Thank you for letting me be a part of this community.
Thank you, Uncle David. That's really great to know about the payment plan. Let me see. I don't think I'll need the payment plan when I buy your booster box. I'm really excited because I take forever when it comes to paying people back. That's why it is, because I forget. I'm a terrible person sometimes when I forget things. So let me go here. All right, you guys, I'm going to head back on. This should be it. That's me. Where's the camera? Have to stream. Oh no, it's blurry. Why does it always do that? I honestly hate it when it does this. Okay, I'm gonna fix this real quick, okay, you guys? 1 second. I'm gonna head back out. Uncle Dave, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you, David. Appreciate it. It's just a rock. Let's stay, Uncle Dave. I don't like it when it's blurry.
Thanks, guys. Thanks to everyone who's saying thank you. Appreciate it. So
okay, I'm gonna head back out. I'm gonna switch it real quick, okay? Back out. I'm gonna let the full screen to you one more time.
No problem.
And all right, Uncle David, let's go here.
So
can you?
Yeah. Oh, yes, go ahead. You want a number? Are you good? Should I talk?
Okay. Yeah, you guys on the comment, please guess only one. Guess a number 1 to 500. Okay, 1 to 500. Guess now, you guys. 1 to 500. And stall for me real quick.
Yeah, family members of PokeGal are not eligible for this, and family members and their friends. If you wonder why PokeGal doesn't do payment plans, she's got so much money. She doesn't need to do anything with payment plans. We all heard that tonight.
Lies. That is not true.
27 houses, and she considered a collection every single booster box she's ever bought. That's not a collection. That's an inventory storage unit. You know, she's got to find some way of discerning. But you know what? She seems like a nice gal. And you know what? If I were 25 years younger, we might get to know each other. I don't know. So I don't know what else to say. I'm still Uncle Dave, and occasionally I lift some weights and I collect some cards and I teach my kids school and I coach basketball and I love to eat. I eat too much, but it's all right. And I don't know what else to tell you guys. What is that? Is that actually a fly on my key? Why does a fly get on the keyboard? That's crazy. And I just want to say thank you for enjoying me, my Psyduck, and my Pikachu tonight. And it's been it's fun. I hope you guys like I said, enjoy your collections. God, it is so cool that we can all find something to collect. Some people collect like Heracross cards. What's that? What's a Heracross? Like I have to put Heracross my bald spot. That's my Heracross. I don't know. I can't stall much more. I've got nothing else to say. I picked a great number though. You're gonna love my number. It's between 1 and 500. I always do what I'm told. Not always.
Very nice. Your wife is extremely lucky. If that's the case. Let me go back
exactly.
here.
Oh, boy, ain't that the truth? I wish she thought so.
Let's go here.
Let me know something when you come visit my channel, my YouTube channel. Send me a comment, send me a Facebook message at Persin or something. All of it's in my links. Let me know how I should, if I do a party at Worlds next year, how should I invite people? Like, what should I make people, like, I want the people that really interact with me to be there for sure. But how do I get the next level of people to do that? Give me some ideas where it's not just, oh, we sent them a text or we sent a code and we get to come. I want people that really want to interact and have fun and that I can get to know over time. So give me some ideas if anything comes to that when you guys reach out to me independently.
Okay, guys, I am here. Let me know if you guys hear an echo at all. Do you hear an echo at all?
Yes.
You do. Oh. Let me go. Why is there an echo? I told Uncle Dave that I got this all figured out. I lied. Let me go here. Okay. Did the echo go? No.
Echo.
Echo. Darn it. Where's this stupid echo thing going away? Let me go here.
I haven't been this excited since for a giveaway since my second COVID vaccine shot. I don't get much more excited than this.
Oh, by the way, I got my COVID shot and it was terrible because I had a severe allergic reaction. It was so bad.
Which one did
So
you
bad. I got the Moderna. Oh,
Okay.
it was so bad.
The Moderna's seem to be worse than the Pfizer's. Unfortunately, it's just how it is. And younger experience the reactions worse than older.
Cool. I think I got this.
Here we go.
Okay. Should not be. Is there an echo again? Is there an echo?
It's not quite as bad.
Okay. We're gonna try to get this for you guys. There you go. Let's go here. At least it's clear. So 1 to 500. Okay. All right, Uncle Dave, what is the number?
So you want the one number that I've written on this page, or do you want me to randomly change it right now?
It's all up to you.
Okay. 444.
444?
That is the number. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me look. Okay, Z1? Z1 again? No way. 441. See, that's the reigning champ, Z. He always wins. Wow.
Boy.
Oh, Z1 again. Okay, so congratulations. Let me get this going. Pop this back on.
Z, you owe me. Thank you for
Z.
thank you for contacting me ahead of time, knowing I was going to help out. You owe me, buddy.
That's funny. Yeah, my goodness. Let me come here. All right. Here. Ah, all right. Look, we got this. We built this. This always win. Good here. I got your information already, so let me go here. So, what's your favorite set for Shining Fates, Uncle Dave?
What's my what?
Can you hear? Hello?
Yeah, you have that echo a little bit, but are you asking me my favorite set before Shining Fates?
Yeah. Oh, I need to fix this echo thing. That's driving me nuts. Go here. Let me go here. You know what? I'm gonna exit out. I'll be right back, you guys. I'll be right.
Z, what's the secret? Because I have a real gambling problem. Can you help me out? How should I be guessing the numbers? Do something out there. I know you're built different, but it really doesn't help me to know you're built different. If we built the same, said be built different, doesn't give me a tip. I need a tip. Something. Come on, buddy. I'm waiting here. I'm just waiting. Give me something. Give me a comment. Shoot a comment up there. Before she gets back. She's probably chasing a feral cat with a trap and not feeding it for 16 days. Nothing. I got nothing. Zero respect. Nothing. That's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm just a guest. Oh, here I am. Hello. Hi. Nice to see you. What? I'm gone. Okay. And there's no reason to look at me that way, folks. I mean, the camera always adds 10 to 15 pounds. There's nothing you can do about it. It's not me. It's not like I'm not heavy in the aspect of being heavy. I'm just pleasingly plump, I guess you could say, or, maybe on the husky side. I don't know. So just one sec. No, I'm in a big broadcast right now. No, this PokeGal thing, she's blowing up. She's blowing up huge. I can't talk right now. She's just dealing with a small echo issue. And then no, Z won the big.
Hello?
Oh, okay.
That's so strange. I can't hear. Oh my God.
We can hear you.
I can't hear you guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I can't hear you guys for some weird reason. The thing got disconnected, but that's okay. We're gonna go through, and Z, you get this. If you guys can hear me, that's all that matters. So you get that. Let me go here. We got 6 of these. We're gonna go with this. Sorry about that. It was so strange. I'll get this fixed. Anna, we can hear you. Okay, thanks. Perfect. But I can't hear you guys for some weird reason. That's okay. That's okay. As long as you guys can hear me. So let me go here. Good luck, Z. You've always been in the stream, so get this going. Let me go here. Zard hand. I hope so. Let me get here. Let me zoom in closely. There you go, Mopeco. There you go, Uncle Dave. One of your favorite card. Hey, Senkata, there you go. Got a little shiny here. Oh, and another hollow. Hey, excellent. You go here. I show the code card. I'm sorry about that, Z. I hope you don't mind. Do not. Let me go Charizard. Oh, yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Let me go here. Oops, sorry about that. Okay. Cookie. There you go. Come on. Something for Z. There's another Mopeco. And Celebi. Great. I'm going to sleeve this up for you, okay? I'm going to sleeve this all up to you. Here. And all the bulk will go to my mod SRR. The reverses Z will get. It's going to cost you a signed Bellsprout. Didn't you get one already? You got one already, right? I thought so. No, Eevee Mopeco. That's really nice. There you go. Oh, look. Very nice. And here we got something. Another Mopeco. There you go. And now the book. I'm going to give you all. Let me give you the code cards. And Z, all the bulk is gonna go to SRR. Just to let you know, I'm not gonna keep the bulk as much anymore because I think I have a lot of bulk for Shiny Fates. Eevee here. Oh, I think I kind of ruined it. And boss's order. Oh, that's the rare. Boo. Some more bulk. Let me give you there. Come on. More Pekko packs. I agree. I agree. Here. Roll it. Well, another Mopeko. And hey, Snowy, that's really nice. And another hollow. That's not bad. Come on, one more. One more. Z, I'm going to ship out Monday. I got to ship out the other winner as well. It's going to ship out Monday. Yeah. Horsey, Qfin, Zard is coming. I think so too. I hope so. Another Mopeko. Oh my goodness. And that is it. What a dud. But that is okay, Z. I'm going to ship this out all to you, including that promo. And I got your address already. I don't know what's going on with the error of the card, but you guys, I am going to hop back to the stream. I do want to say thank you to Uncle Dave. Thank you so much. And I always appreciate you guys. And always appreciate you guys so much. We got Swami the next round for Q&A. I'll get this going for you. And I'll see you guys. And hey, Uncle Dave, continue to stay awesome. By the way, don't go yet, Uncle Dave. I'm going to talk to you privately after the end of the stream. All right, you guys, thank you. Thank you, Uncle Dave. I'll let you guys go. I'm going to end the stream. Thank you so much. Bye, guys. Bye, guys. Bye.